Hello, everybody. Okay, so the Law of Decay. Have you got that one on your character sheet, Kerry?
I'm trying to carry.
Hang on, I've got to mute the stream because I just had myself talking.
I was losing somebody then.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you say, Kerry?
I'm trying to find my Storm Knight character sheet?
Right, it will be on the images.
It's not under D.
It's under Doctor. No, it's not, is it? It's Vanessa. It's under V.
Oh,
Vanessa de Masalang.
Okay.
But obviously the cards you'll have to keep track of on your actual digital Morcor character sheet. So, I haven't cleared them off. Let's get rid of those. Let me just clear yours off first. So the Cosm cards that we're dealing with now, they go on the front page of the Morcor character sheet in the middle bottom box.
I like that card.
Okay. Wade, you get the Law of Life.
That sounds useful.
Lena, you have Dino Attack.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound useful.
I've used it before.
Oh, is that the one that you send that extra attack against us?
Yeah, it is indeed. I've dragged Dino Attack in for you. Don't worry for now. Reverend Marcus gets Perils of the Living Land. Professor Darnell gets the best defense.
Is it tech?
If you read the card, pretty much yes. Yes, it is. Are you using that straight away?
No, that was an accident.
That's okay. And Officer Reyes, you get Survival of the Fittest. Play on the first round of a combat. All allies ignore wound penalties when making skills or attribute totals for the rest of.
Doesn't give you possibilities. What's it called?
Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah. It's just talking out loud to myself.
Yeah, no worries. Best defense is good. Play on the first round of a combat. Test for active defense. Don't generate a minimum +1 bonus for the rest of the battle. So you lose that ability to do dodge, but you do all get a possibility.
My one's only useful whenever people have actually got wins, though.
Yeah, but you may get them at some point or another.
Well, since you want to kill us off in this one, you probably will.
Right, now, a few more cards to draw now. We've got the Destiny deck. So I will do them in... Ooh, you're going to get 5. The normal card limit is 4, but thanks to the successful play of a glory card, your hand limit is up from 4 to 5.
Is it always
So that
5?
stays over the act as well?
I
cool.
believe for the remainder of the adventure.
Cool.
Let's just double check to make sure I'm not.
So and we can stack them. as well, so we get
there's
another glory card.
examples in one of the games they ran at one of the conventions where they ended up getting 4 glory cards out. But I'll just let you know. So drama deck.
You could let them get up the it cards then.
They did at that point, most certainly. Where's the glory card?
No, you took it off it.
Actually, do you know what? I might as well just look at the glory card in the deck. Rolls 60 the zone with possibility energy. All player characters by 1 until the end of the next act. So this act, you're another glory card. You go, no, this is a 3-act. Living Land is a 3-act.
Oh, straight. When you say 3 acts, I was thinking like 3 days.
Or 3 sessions, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, Kerry, are you there?
Yep.
Cool. Right, I'm about to deal you your cards. So the next 5 cards to come out are yours. So they are Here should put the link in. Leadership. Second wind.
Yep.
A glory. You'll begin to learn how many of a particular kind of card there are in the deck. And your fifth card is adrenaline. Wade. The opponent fails. Adrenaline. Coup de grace. Or co-op de grace, depending on how bad your pronunciation is. Drama. And drama.
Cool.
Yeah, I've always thought Gaz was good at drama.
Lena's fault. She's raised a drama queen.
You only can play one drama card, can't you? Per
You can play one drama card, but you can also that can be played alongside a possibility of your own, a hero card.
Cool,
Five
thank you.
cards are hero. Let me know if you're not okay to drag the cards on the character sheet yourself, and I can continue to do that. Flurry. Connection.
Oh, is that a new one?
I had
Sure
that.
anyone had that
It was
before.
useless. I had it last time. It was useless. Couldn't use it.
Alertness. And willpower.
Because we were stuck on a boat. Now how am I going to kill a contact?
Somebody else on the boat. Reverend Marcus, your five are a hero card,
Yay.
the master plan card, a
Ooh.
glory card. So I'll click that other one in a bit. No, you've got picked up glory twice.
Oh, yeah, it seems I did.
It's alright, I've deleted one of them. Another hero card. And second wind.
Ooh.
Professor Darnell Moore.
Yes.
Right, I'm just going to move. You've put the best defense in your hand. It should be in the Cosm cards, but I've moved it.
All right.
Okay, okay. So these do go in your hand. Glory.
1 sec. Cool.
So just drag it from the little blue and gold gem thing. Excellent. Alertness.
Glories. Alertness.
Well, strictly speaking, you've got glory 37, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Did you notice in the chat, Alexander, you should be able to drag it from the chat as well, and then you'll get exactly the right one.
All right.
Let's go as we mean to go along. So, alertness 9 you don't have. You want to get rid of that one? Inspire. Another glory. I think that's all the glory cards now.
We've got a lot of glory cards out there.
You
And
promised me
supporter.
every game.
We need to start rolling some 60s plus.
Get rid of them, yeah. And finally, Officer Reyes, are you ready?
I'm ready not to get that glory card. That's all I'm saying.
You have a supporter card. You have the adrenaline card. You have willpower. You have leadership. And you have supporter. That
Amazing.
really does.
He's now the one that tried to run away, got 2 supporter cards, and leave us in the lurch.
So, very quick recap before we kick off. So, the ragtag Manhattan militia that you've become were all on a ferry on the East River when invasion occurred. What the detail of that invasion is yet you don't know, but the world around you began to change. You were attacked by flying lizards with lizard men on their backs, armed with primitive living weaponry. You fought them off. Some of your number were reduced to a primitive state of mind and have been cowering, but in the meantime, the ferry was also attacked by a giant mosasaur, an aquatic lizard bigger possibly than the ferry itself. You are able to weather its attacks, and some last-minute quick thinking and useful manoeuvring on the part of Dr. Damasalang drove the creature off. You were able to recoup yourselves and the other members of the crew. Grady and his daughter, Amber. Lauren, the business suit wearing city type, who's still complaining that her mobile phone doesn't work. Cam and Finn, two of the crew that were reduced to a primitive state of mind. And the captain, Captain Stanton, who is still woozy and injured. She's lost a significant amount of blood from a wound on her head that was able to be repaired barely. The ship and most of the things around you have been slowly is a relative term, because compared to how fast they should be decaying, they've been decaying at an exceedingly accelerated rate. But slowly but surely the ship began to fall apart about your ears. We'll leave the details of how you managed to get ashore to off camera, but suffice to say, with the sad creaking glub 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 noise of the Manhattan ferry sinking into the deepening storm-swept waters of the East River, you drag yourselves onto the docks on the southern shores of Manhattan Island. It's an eerie sight. Firstly, a majority of the river behind you is now almost entirely concealed in a deep, thick, white fog. You can hear noises around you echoing maybe from a couple of blocks away. High-pitched screams which sound all too human, punctuated with deep, resonant roars of creatures that are not native to this world, or at least not for the last 1,000,000 years or so. And from the depth and resonance of the noise, the things out there are big. And the occasional, all too brief, gunshot. When you reached dry land, apart from your ragtag group, there are no humans in sight. The tarmac ahead of you is already cracking. There are vines protruding from buildings to your left and your right. Most buildings are already looking smashed. You can't see a single intact window anywhere within line of sight. There are no bodies here, but especially those of you that have got combat experience, Dr. Damasalang, there is the scent of death most certainly in the air. Captain Stanton and her crew are looking towards the rest of you for decisions. Grady is standing there holding the smaller form of his daughter, Amber, and Amber looks distinctly scared. Lauren, trying to smooth out her business suit, is looking impatiently towards somebody to make a decision.
Lena, help. She'll point off to where the sounds of roars are coming from.
Lauren looks incredulously. He goes, "You want us to go towards the danger?"
We kill.
No. Let's take it easy for a moment.
Can I play a Cosm card?
You most definitely can play the Cosmic Cards whenever you want to.
Dino attack? No.
Let's head
Yeah.
to the nearest police station.
You got Dino attack. Oh, yes, as well.
It does say at any point during the act though, so it doesn't have to be immediate, I don't think.
Noted.
3 T-Rexes come out of the surrounding area. Everyone dies. Game over.
Well, I'll tell you, no T-Rexes are coming out from anywhere yet, but those of you who are paying attention do hear a number of feral sounding sound coming from a lot closer than they were previously. It might just be the echoes. I mean, you've never seen Manhattan this deserted. For anybody that knows Manhattan, you're probably about 8 to 10 blocks west of the Brooklyn Bridge at the moment. On the south bank of Manhattan Island itself, in one of the many dock facilities that are there.
Where people...
Let's head to the near... Ah! I said, let's head to the nearest police station. We'll get arms there.
Yeah, I was about to suggest the same.
Do the streets all look blocked? If we had a vehicle, would we be able to get anywhere?
There are vehicles on the road. However, their tyres are corroded. There is not a single one with unblemished paintwork. Most of them appear to be in an advanced state of decay at this point, with the sort of growth and foliage in them that you'd expect of an abandoned vehicle after maybe 6 weeks.
Guns back.
But yes, the roads are blocked.
Is there currently anywhere nearby a lizard man taking a leak and he's left his steed, like, nearby? We could just
Give me a perception or a find check.
Okay, where's my perception?
It'll be find.
Oh, fine.
So that's a bonus number of a -1, I believe. I just remembered to...
The bonus thing. What's the thing called again? Bonus, wasn't it?
Yep. I'm just going to find the living
Bonus
land.
chart, yeah.
The professor is checking out the vegetation that bursts out.
Give me a scholar check.
-1, and then I have to do... Bang.
So that'd be a mind plus your scholar, skill adds, plus a bonus.
So how did that work?
That was 7. According to that.
Yeah, you're not seeing anything in the deserted streets. Was that Dr. Damasalang saying that in or out of character? Yeah, you don't have to put the rolls on there, Alexander. You just roll a d20. Although they did work, so it's off of a 14, so your 5 would give you a bonus number of -4. Difficulty numbers would only be a 10 if I don't tell you anything else. So this is not the plant you're looking at. This is a native earth plant, albeit one that you've only seen fossil records of. You're looking at an early example of a Cretaceous fern.
Fascinating.
I'll reach over, grab the plant and begin sort of chewing on it. Good.
And you got dead from poison.
It's poisonous, yeah.
Luckily it isn't. It's just green foliage. Although once Lena does that, the Professor, you're looking around and you can see at least, within line of sight, you're seeing at least 4 examples of plants that you think probably are poisonous. And about 40 feet away, there's an area of green. and just poking around the green, you can see a flash of red, which you look at it closer, and it looks for all the world like a Venus flytrap, albeit the flytrap bit is about 2 feet across.
Whatever is happening here, it's not from this world, or it was from this world.
Yeah, it's confusing in that regard.
Keep your crazy theories to yourself.
Officer Reyes, you are a local Manhattan constabulary. Just give me a basic mind check. You only need a 5 on this to see if you can recall where the nearest local station house is.
Question. I know how to add skills, but mind, how do I add mind?
Just add it to the attribute. Just roll the bonus dice and add it to your base attribute, that's all.
Yay!
No idea.
Okay, well, luckily, trying to remember where something isn't against the laws of the living land. Although what you're trying to think about the location of is, maybe that's what's confused you. It's more likely you never really got posted to anywhere within Lower Manhattan. You were more North Island, East Village, that sort of thing. You've got a vague idea. Well, you know that there's a station house every so-and-so number of blocks, or there should be. So you think, well, you're not on one of the main roads at the moment, but if you head northwest, you'll hit one of the circulatory roads, and then you should be able to see left or right. Work it out from there.
I'm just wondering, the rifles that Isabel picked up.
Yes, I'm assuming you have carried them with you.
You may assume that.
Yeah, who's going to take the other one?
That is an interesting question.
fire
Are
guns.
there any of you skilled at using weapons?
I am. Now.
Well, I mean, what are your totals? Because my total is only 8.
Let's come off dexterity. Mine's 12.
Mine's 7, and I got a gun too.
No, I've got your gun.
Yeah, we'll assume you're giving that back to the professor.
You can have it back.
There you go. Swap it out with a rifle.
Just keep it.
I'll have the rifle.
I only have 7 in gun.
Well,
Well,
look
if I'm
at
getting a
that.
rifle, then that's presumably better than a gun.
I look at the plants. I can't shoot.
Caw, caw, caw.
You want a rifle then?
Comes off from in the distance.
Was that? Oh, right, that was actual sound. Yeah. If nobody else can shoot, I'll
It's
take.
called-
Oh, no,
An M4 carbine.
Nessa, can't she?
I'll take
Can't she
the-
shoot?
You don't have the book, do you? Guys, you don't
No,
have the book.
because it's not my laptop. I don't want to be opening it up on here. Sorry.
I don't know if
Trying
I
to
can
do as
link this.
little as I can.
You drag that onto your one. Does it work?
Probably not.
No. Hang on, let me.
Because it's got tech scores and stuff like that. And ammo and stuff.
Shared that with you guys. Thought that might be useful.
Oh, I've got that printed off, don't I?
And there's also this guy as well.
Ah, cool. The things we can do.
Some of the things we can.
Some of them. It's a
Oh,
summary.
So what's the?
Oh, if you click on M4 Carbine, you have got the detail on there.
Oh, so it did work.
In the text where it said M4 Carbine, you can get the detail off of that. If you click it, you should be able to open it.
It just says unable to create window with data source.
Oh, you probably not opened the library. Don't worry. It's Tech 23, Damage 13, Ammo 30, and Range 50, 100, 200.
That's got special abilities.
Yeah, you can do long burst and short bursts.
I'm walking over to the light trap thingy, and I
Mhm.
throw a rock at it.
From what? How close are you getting?
I'm not getting too close.
Okay, give me an idea of distance.
How big is it in relation to a
Well,
human?
the flytrap head is this one's about 2 feet.
What's 2 feet in the real system?
50 centimeters.
60.
There you go, half a meter.
Yeah, or 61
6.
centimeters. Okay, that's the head.
So that's the snappy bit. And I mean, even from about 30 or 40 feet away, you can see that the teeth are quite hefty looking. Lena, can you make me a find check, please?
All right. How does the stem look like? Is there a lot of stem? Is it a straight stem, or is it like?
There looks to be a little bit of stem.
Around?
There's a little bit of stem. It's quite tendrily winding around.
All right. I will stay 50 meters away and throw the rock.
Okay, you're not 50 meters away from it now.
Then I'm throwing the rock from where
You're getting within rock throwing range. That's enough. Okay, just give me a thrown weapons check, which is off of Dex if you don't have it. It's stationary, but a distance away, so difficulty's 10s. That's a D12.
What?
You need a D20. You just rolled a D12.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you only roll D20s. You can get rid of the other dice. So that's a bonus of a 3 added to your base Dex. Is that more than a 10? It might be. I think you start off with an 8.
It's exactly a 10.
How do you delete the other dice?
You just move them out of the way and then reset your positioning. You hit it. It hits it smack bang in the flytrap of the Venus flytrap. Now, anybody that knows these things in the real world, they're triggered because there are little hairs. It hits and bounces out of the mouth, and the mouth doesn't close. Lena, as the professor does that, you're able, with your find check, you're able to note, and you grab him by the shoulder and pull him back as the moving tendril that was coming away from it, that was hidden in some of the undergrowth, just swipes towards his left foot.
Plant, bad. Bad plant. Points at the fern, good plant.
Okay, I'm stumbled backwards.
Comes from off to your south, quite a bit closer.
I'll quickly go up to Wade, grab that funny looking club he's got because he's holding it upside down, spin it round so the hilt's at the top.
Your mum's just reversed your rifle in your hand.
Is that what she's doing? Is she grabbing my rifle?
Yep.
Spin it round.
Yep, she just grabs it, spins it, and puts it back in your hand.
Unless Vanessa wants it. Has Vanessa got a gun? Isn't she army? Is she?
I can shoot.
Oh, I don't know. I was just being amusing, guys. It's a club.
Take it away from you. It's not your
You're
mum
about
saying.
to turn the gun on me. I'm going to give it Vanessa.
Did that share sheet work with you there, guys?
Oh, cool. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, she didn't. She just reversed it in your grip.
You add it
So your hand,
down.
essentially, so it's now a club.
You're freaking me out enough, Mum. Please don't stop pointing the gun at me.
Grady, the dad, is looking down the shoreline in worry, and Amber is quietly whimpering in his arms, and he turns. If you guys don't know where to go, can we at least start moving? I think I can see something, well, down the road a ways.
What'd you see?
Give me a find check. He says, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's friendly.
We should get out of the open.
As you're looking off in the distance, Reverend, and again, there's quite a lot of debris and vehicles and what have you. You see something, probably about, that's fine, probably only about 3 feet high, darts between 2 cars. It's on 2 legs. It looks like a small lizard of some kind. Is the Reverend Marcus the sort of person that would watch speculative cinema? Perhaps.
I think he
those
was watching
movies-
exploitation films.
Would he have seen movies that might have featured Laura Dern, Sam Neill?
Yeah, he's seen
Possibly
Jurassic
with
Park.
Fine. It looks like they're certainly smaller than they showed them in Jurassic Park, Velociraptor.
Hey, Professor, there's some kind of lizard thingy over there.
I'm following his pointy finger and try
Follow
to
the pointy finger as you're looking down the way. From off to your right, you hear the gong, gong, gong noise again. And then, as you're looking, something pokes its head up from behind a car that's probably about 100 and 110 meters away and honks in response.
We need
like-
to go.
It's just like Jurassic Park, where they're like pack animals, and we're like surrounded.
Yes,
You've heard them from two sides.
I think so. We need to go. We need to go now. We need to go inside.
Go where?
Somewhere inside where we can defend ourselves.
Was there an inside? I thought we were just out in the middle.
Essentially, you're on the edge of Manhattan docks. There are roads heading inland. There's a main road heading to your left and right where a lot of the cars are. At the moment, the noises you've heard are to your southwest, which is along the dockside road, and to your due west down an alleyway that heads in that direction. You could either head off
How
to your
far is-
northeast, or you could there's a way directly north, large avenue, buildings either side, lots of wrecked cars.
How far is Madison Square Garden?
Madison Square Garden, a long way away.
Okay.
Why do you want to go to Madison Square Garden for? It sounds like it's going to be a lot of trees.
You're on the south bit of Manhattan Island. Close Battery Park is to your west. World Trade Center Plaza, Freedom Plaza, whatever they call it these days, would be to your northwest. Like I said, you're about 8 or 9 blocks down the coast from the Brooklyn Bridge.
Is
Right.
it cheating to look this up at Google
Let's
Maps?
just head towards the city, the center, the biggest place where lots of guns are, and hopefully we'll get a gun. Better guns. Bigger
Sorry,
guns.
you said Ground Zero is north of us,
Northwest of you,
but Brooklyn Bridge is what?
east of you.
Okay, I'm going to ask again. Is it okay to use Google Maps for this?
Yeah, I'm actually going to find you a link on Google Maps right now.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay, so you said what? Battery Park?
Battery Park is on the very southwestern spit of Manhattan Island.
Yeah, this is where the ferries leave. Okay, right.
It
so
probably would have been where your ferry was heading for. Never got there.
Alright. All right.
I
So,
don't
so
want to
we
head
are we are at the southern tip of Manhattan now.
Well, you are actually, if you go slightly northeast of that, you came off of the New York Waterway. Can you see where it says Citibank?
I don't see any map anywhere.
I haven't done one yet
Oh.
because it's a Google map, man.
No, I thought you remember you put up a special map for us. I remember you showing it this.
We did, but I can't put that in on Fantasy Ground. So
Okay, so there's Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah.
yeah, you're probably, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you look, can you see Wall Street off of
Yes.
FDR Drive? Basically, you've currently dragged yourself up south of Pier 15 on FDR Drive.
Yeah, Wall Street. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Wall Street and Manhattan Park. So the noises you've heard are from the Citibank building, which is not looking particularly Citibanky at the moment, and you saw the things off down FDR Drive to your southwest.
All right.
Bloody maps. Time I click it, it vanishes.
And everything is already covered in vegetation.
It is, you are looking at what would be, you'd suspect, in the real world, maybe 18 months of vegetation growth. cars are abandoned and already decaying.
Okay, so I guess it doesn't make sense to make it to a railway station or anything.
Probably not.
So, no waiting for the bus or subway station.
Well, subways is a possibility. You're not sure. Officer Reyes, you think if you can get up to Water Street, just to get off of this tiny little side road, because FDR Drive is up above you. Water Street's a bigger road. You can look left or right on Water Street, or go further in before you'll be able to get a station house.
Did you say we were at Pier 15?
You're sort of west of Pier 15. Can you see Wall Street?
Yep.
You're at the junction of Wall Street and South Street at the moment.
Okay.
Not that you can see the roads.
Wall Street and South Street. Alright.
Other people that might know stuff for the area, Dr. Damasalang, you're relatively close to Lower Manhattan Hospital. You know that's a relatively large affair. It was one of the central organization points for the 9/11 disaster. There's likely to be authority there if there's anything anywhere.
Well, there's Federal Hall up on Wall Street.
Yep.
So probably there are cops or something.
But you're going to have to make a decision quick because you've already seen some kind of, albeit smaller than you expected, Hollywood appears to have lied to you, creatures out there. You need to move. Where are you going?
There's also Trinity Church, a natural gathering point, I guess.
Oh, the Trinity Church, that's known to yourself, Reverend Marcus.
I'll just sigh and say, Lena Fine Cave, and just start heading off towards the nearest looking building.
I can just picture ourselves looking at the tourist map going, I wonder where we could go right now.
Well, this is your local Manhattan residence. You have a certain amount of knowledge. You don't have to call up Google Maps.
Oh, well, I filled my role, so I probably have to.
Yeah, that's why you know, well, there'll be something along Water Street. Okay, fine. You can... give me a survival check, Lena.
Cave, we find.
Okay.
Doing well so far.
You're not familiar with the environment, but it looks like there's something... basically you're looking up... the street, for want of a better term. I don't need to up Wall Street. You see something appropriate when you get to the corner of Wall Street and Front Street, so that corridor. It doesn't look so much like a crossroads now as wreckage. And you're looking, you see a shadow that looks to be an appropriate location. To anyone else, it looks like Lena, she's just darted up the road. She can see a bus that the front of has been stove in and the rest of it is beginning to be overgrown with vines. She's heading for the front of the bus. The rest of you are following because you don't want to split up. However, while Lena is looking into the depths of the bus from about 30 or 40 feet away, she doesn't see the turkey-sized looking bipedal lizard up on top of the bus. And the rest of you've just got a chance to scream out an alarm if you want as it launches itself off the bus towards the erstwhile hockey mom.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you use a Dino attack card.
So, combat ensues. Skellen, as you failed your find check, you are unfortunately surprised.
Oh. It's only a 1, I mean...
It's comeback.
Yep, so you heroes are getting an inspiration, but you don't get an action in that very first immediate round of combat. As the accurately sized Velociraptor, but is still quite dangerous, leaps off the top of the ruined Metrobus and attempts to barrel into the surprised form of Lena, warrior huntress.
You say this was standard.
It is a standard scene.
Is it inspiration do again?
Inspiration will reduce any outstanding. Oh, by the way, you're all up to maximum shock. I should have said that because I think Lena, you've still got. You're down to 2, but you should be on 8.
Noted.
Okay. The creature's unarmed total is a 15. Are you currently wielding a spear?
Yeah.
Okay, you're stymied because you're surprised though, so you're at -2. So what is your unarmed combat total -2?
Unarmed combat, is that melee weapons?
Melee weapons. Well, yeah, because you're armed. Yeah, melee weapons, not unarmed.
1.
Okay, well you have to add your dex, so
10.
that's a 10, yeah. Okay, it got a bonus number of an 18, giving it a 5 onto its skill, means it hits you and gets 5 result points of damage, which means it gets to do its strength in damage with its claws adding 3, and then I get to roll a bonus number. So I get to roll a bonus dice. It only rolled a 1. And so Lena's toughness is a 10. So the thing barrels into you, doing 2 shock. No, 1 shock. No, 2 shock. I was right. Yeah, 2 shock.
Yeah.
And you fall backwards, and it jumps back into the shadow of the bus. Okay, heroes go.
Wait a minute, before we do this, Alex, you've got a special ability to put the thing into your hand, your action.
You can only do it once per scene, though. And we're in scene 1 at the moment.
We have to use.
Yep, we're in concrete jungle. You might want to save it for later, or you might want to do it next to you. So remember, the initiative works that you can decide which order you go in, but it's according to the line. If I just share I notice I didn't share it. So this is the conflict card. We're in a standard scene, so you worry about the standard bit. H is for heroes, V is for villains. Any action you do is approved, meaning that anything you do that succeeds will grant you a new card from the Destiny deck.
Okay.
And if you were suffering from shock, you'd get 2 shock back for the inspiration.
I'm going to try to scare the monster away with another dino away with Intimidate. That is 18, 5, so that's 15, 16.
16, okay, give me a second. Yep, you managed to get only 4 results, so you can only choose one thing to do to it. You can either stymie it or make it vulnerable. Stymie reduces its rolls, vulnerable adds to your rolls to do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stymie it.
Okay.
I'm going to take my turn, which is very quick. I'm aiming, and that's my turn.
Okay, hang on a second. Oh, hang on, I rolled that twice. Take the C's initiative. I'm going to undo the drama deck being done there, the drama card. Who's going after the officer? Aimed. Anybody can go. It's your choice. Which order?
Me hit. Kill.
Okay, so you get up because you were knocked over. I'm not going to give you any particular minuses at this point. Getting up isn't a particular action. Bear in mind that as any action is approved, should you wish to do an all-out attack, you will gain an additional bonus dice because of the law of savagery, which is one of the Living Lands world laws. By the way, you're all under the effect of the Living Land world laws when you're in this area, so anybody can elect to go a little bit native in that respect.
I never meant to ask, what's up again?
Up means you get an automatic additional roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so You're going to all-out attack. You're attacking with your... Because you've still got the rocket shoot spear, haven't you, that you had before?
Yeah. Definitely want to drop that.
We ought to put that on your character sheet.
Strength +2 or something.
It was indeed. But more importantly, it's a native weapon to the living land.
Alright.
Okay, so generate yourself a melee weapon total. And can everyone remember what all-out attack does?
Nope.
Well, it's on the combat and options chart.
But you become vulnerable or something?
You become very vulnerable, which is essentially -4 to whatever you're doing, or +4 to someone else to hit you.
But I get +4 to my attack total. Okay.
So you get a bonus number of 1.
You get +4 to your overall score.
Yeah.
Not to that total.
Yeah, never adds to the dice roll, it adds to your final score.
Alright, so that's 1 plus my melee.
Melee weapons, 12. Well, it's 12 because your attribute's involved.
That includes, it goes off dex, does it?
Yes, it does.
So yeah, it's 12, so that's 13 in total.
Then +4.
Then +4 gives me a 17.
Okay, so 17 versus its unarmed combat. You do hit, and you've got enough to get a good success, because you're more than 5 over its total. So that'll give you a bonus damage dice. Your all-out attack choice, the Law of Savagery, also gives you a bonus damage.
Die.
Roll another 1.
Die.
Oh, nice.
Actually, that's a few more than that. Oh, you're the 6, yes. Sorry.
So
Okay, so your damage total 21 onto whatever your damage is.
Well, it'll be 20, isn't
12,
it?
don't you?
It's 20 because that 6 counts as a 5.
Good point, yes. It's 20 onto your existing 12, I believe you do. Strength +2, yeah?
12, yeah, +2 for the spear.
Okay. So,
Nice.
has everyone got that, the damage summary open?
Chicken for dinner.
So its toughness, it's got a little armoured hide. So its toughness, they're relatively small, so they're toughness 9. So how many over 9 was your 32? Was that?
Yep.
20.
Yeah, 20 plus 12, 32, minus 9, 23. So that's 4 wounds and 8 shock. You right yourself, and Lena just sort of like does a primitive, not even a kip up. You bring yourself up to more of a crouch. You feint off, grab the spear where you left it, and then just literally surge forwards into a spring directly into the creature.
John, is that not because it's 25 difference, 5 wounds, 10 shock? Because it says and so on below the.
It would be, yes, but she got but minus the creature's toughness. 32 minus 9 is 23, so she's in the 20 to 24 range.
Oh, it's only 23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, only 23 damage. Yeah.
I know.
That's
I thought it was 20 plus the 12, so it was 30.
But then minus his toughness,
Yeah.
which was a 9, so that's, as you said, 23.
Okay.
But essentially, you leap forward bodily into thing with the spear in front of you, putting the whole force of your body behind it. The creature can't dive out of the way quick enough, and the spear point meets where its neck meets its chest, and you just kebab it.
Lena's cave.
Who's going after Lena?
It's not there.
Are there more?
There were. This certainly looks like one of the creatures, or the kind of creatures that the Reverend and the Professor and Grady saw.
Am I able to move and do something like aim?
If you have something to aim at, yeah.
Well, my natural thing would be, I'd be to run over to my mum.
So
Just as like a...
Before you do
I
that,
don't think
though, do I get an action card from my hand?
Yeah, I'm just rolling it.
Oh.
I don't think you can move and aim though, because it says you sacrifice your turn to aim. On the
Okay, so
Yeah, you
I'll have to
sacrifice a turn aiming.
nothing. I will just probably run towards mum then.
Oh, yeah, hold on a sec.
Check
So,
she's alright after this. Go on, sorry.
So I can move flurry to my hand, can I, as an action?
Yep, so just drag it from your hand into your action.
And then can I play it?
Not in the same round. You can't play the
sorry.
card in the same round you put it in there. So if
That's
you
why
move
I
it
was
onto the action and then just delete it from your hand.
Got you. Yeah, sorry, that's why I was interrupting. So I want to know that I can
That's all right.
turn. You see, sorry, carry on.
So you can't. I mean, you'd have to make a perception check or a find check to seek out another target. At the moment, there are no immediately visible targets. But if you want to look and then fire,
go to my mum, look around, just looking.
Sure, give me a find check. You'll be able to. Do you want to be able to do a snapshot as well? If you do, you'll be doing a multi-action, so your find is going to be at -2.
Knowing me, I'm a 16-year-old hockey lad with a machine gun in my hand. I'm going to just pump it.
Okay, so you're ready to whatever you see, you're going to shoot at if you see something.
Like an idiot, yeah.
Generate one bonus number. Oh, by the way, one thing about multi-actions, everybody.
Damn it.
If you're not skilled at any of the actions that are in your multi-action, they all roll as if you were unskilled. So that means you don't re-roll on 20s. A 5 is a -4. What's your find total?
-4. I think I'm going to have to add to that.
Wait, are you firing at like long bursts?
Oh, he's doing a find. He's doing a find.
I'm trying to find.
He's trying to find a target and then fire at it if he finds one.
Okay.
What's find come off? Is that
mind?
Oh hell yeah! I'm rolling again.
I just use the picture sheet because it gives all the total values. It's easier.
The which sheet?
You know, you've each got a picture sheet.
Picture sheet. Oh, okay, that one. It's just too big for me to fit on this.
Yeah, it will become less accurate as the game goes on, though. That's the only issue. That's at least a 10 because you just spent a possibility. Remember to reduce your possibilities. Oh no, you are down because you had a bonus one.
14. Yeah.
So that's a 15 total.
15. So that's 2 plus 2.
Yeah. 2 on your mind. That gives you an 8.
Plus me fine, so that's 9.
You scan around. You think you see something moving on about the 4th floor ahead of you, and you instinctively pull down the trigger and just strafe the building.
And I'll probably fly backwards a bit and make some silly noises.
Fly back a little bit. Something darts out of where you shot, but it looks like a pigeon. Something like that.
Okay.
All right. Professor or Doctor?
Ammo, I guess, for that.
Yeah, just reduce your ammo accordingly. That was a short burst, essentially.
Ooh. Okay. Short
3 bullets.
2, 3 rounds
3
per target.
Yeah.
3. Oh, okay. Got you.
Kerry or Alexander?
All right. Since I don't have a weapon, or do I have the revolver?
I think you got the revolver back.
I think Kerry's got the revolver.
Or decide who's got what.
Okay.
Kerry, have you got the revolver? Is that right?
The professor isn't going to shoot anyone, so I just observe.
Well, if you want, you can make a find check, see if you can spot anything. That way you could guide the doctor's aim if you spot something.
Yeah.
You're not having to do 2 things at once, so you're not getting a -2.
This is what I'm going to do. I try to help to cover the blind spots.
Cool.
So
yeah, that's not a problem. In fact, for you, I'm going to give you a slight bonus. I'm not telling you what the difficulty is because they're stealthing, but I'm going to give you a slight bonus because your paleontological training, although you are a specialist in paleobiology, you've got a little bit of paleo, whatever it is for animals. Paleontology, isn't it, for that one?
Yeah, I had this girlfriend in college, and she was totally into dinosaurs.
So you've got a better idea to know where to look.
All right, so I roll at 20.
Have you got the find skill?
Find, yes, it's a 2. And
did you say you just rolled a 20?
No,
or you just rolled a d20,
12.
right? Yeah.
A d20 is a 12, that's 0. And the find comes off from?
Mind, which I think for the good doctor is significantly higher than young Wade's.
11 plus 2, so it's 13 is the result.
You remember that there were ones coming up the road behind you originally, so you concentrate your perception in that direction, and lo and behold, you can see the indications of at least two shapes moving quite low. One just darted behind the wrecked remnants of a Lexus over on the left-hand side of the street, but you're able to shout out behind us in time as one of them, the one on the right-hand side of the street, jumps up onto the top of a wrecked SUV.
Watch
Kerry,
out. They're coming.
should you wish to, Dr. Vanessa now has a clear line of sight to one about 40 meters behind you. It's quite an unerring sight as well, because obviously you're looking back towards the river, and you can just see in the far distance, just to distract you from the combat briefly, from Brooklyn, you can see the buildings of Brooklyn rising up out of that white fog bank.
Is the professor finished? It's turn.
Yeah, he just yelled out to you, look out behind us.
Okay. Vanessa remembers her training, drops to one knee and tries to shoot the one that jumps on the roof.
Okay.
All out attack. And...
All out attack, unfortunately, is only melee.
No!
Disconnect.
Oh no. Okay. That is indeed. You remember the training, but then something about that surging adrenaline feeling you've been having since this whole thing started, it catches on to whatever post-traumatic stress the Doctor probably suffers from, having come back from her first tour in Afghanistan. And your world just, all of the civilized veneer just drops away from your eyes. You're still Dr. Dimasalang, but something, just the whole, everything just feels wrong at the moment. Needless to say, you miss, and you are now crouching down, disconnected. So until you reconnect, and I'll let you know how to do that in a minute, you can't spend possibilities. You cannot do anything that would cause a contradiction, i.e. anything that is against the reality of the living land. So that means you are currently limited to its axioms: Magic 1, Social 7, Spirit 24, Tech 6. The gun is still there, but you can't use it. Anything on you that is higher than Tech 6 is now in a state of flux. It's either not there or temporarily there, replaced by a primitive version of it. So if you've got a handbag, your Gucci handbag might, you look at it briefly and then suddenly it's a sort of a hide bag filled with knickknacks. Your clothing is in the process of changing from like the pantsuit that you're wearing to something a lot more primitive and probably a lot more revealing. Similar to what Lena's wearing as well. Your glasses are giving you a headache and they feel bad on your head. You can still act, but it has to be in line with the local reality. Like I said, Tech 6, bow and arrow is pretty much it. And Social 7, anything bigger than a tribe is not really a concept you can get your head around right now. But that was a good way to end that particular combat round.
Should Professor have a card, though, because he succeeded in
He did succeed. You have to remind me of these things. The Professor gets the Martyr card.
Use it!
If you do not wish to martyr your character to achieve a significant goal, you can discard right now if you wish, get a possibility instead, and I'll draw a new card for you.
Okay,
Who's
so
that? Oh,
Go ahead.
the Doctor, okay, not the Professor.
Oh, so the Professor, sorry. Professor. Your character. You're the one that succeeded in spying stuff. The Doctor's not getting anything for...
Okay, so what does it do? Please card to achieve a significant goal. Your character perishes in the process.
It's a martyr card. So you get to do something. Everyone gets to bemoan your death and weep and wail and
Do we have to? It doesn't say
pour
we have
out
to
one.
card.
Well,
No,
can I?
it's just-
Can
or
I
you
use
could
the
just go-
penalty card and then avoid my death?
If you were in another cosm than the living land, yes. Because in the Nile Empire, there's a cosm card that essentially if a villain dies off camera, they're not really dead. There's a
Alright.
cosm card in the Nile Empire that does exactly that, and it can work for the heroes as well. But
Alright.
otherwise, Martyr, you're dead.
I don't think you can play it yet. Anyway, you can't put it into this action.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't-
only put it. You can only put it into your hand, not into your pool.
You could also just discard it if you don't want to kill yourself.
You
Yeah,
can do that as
I
well.
don't want to kill myself.
Fine. Add a possibility then, and take
So I'm on 4
that one instead.
into my hand.
And one of the cards that's already in your hand because you did something. And Kerry, you can also do this. Essentially, this occurs at the end of your action, whether you did anything or not. You can always take a card from your hand and place it into your pool. So at the end of round 1, everybody should have one card in their pool, unless you chose for some strange reason not to.
I thought you couldn't do that if you was.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm asking. I thought you couldn't play your mortar card until it was in your action pool.
No, you're not playing it, but you can put any card except for the one you just did into your pool.
Yeah, but he just played his martyr card. You give him a new card called Will.
No,
He
discarded
discarded it.
it.
He didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alternatively, discard for a
He couldn't have
possibility
played
and draw a
it.
new
You're
card.
right.
I don't mind for those ones. There's plot cards and stuff like that. If they're not appropriate, you can go, I don't want that one, and get a different.
So I can discard my ones then.
You could do.
Only if it gives you the option of discarding.
Has to say on the card. Kerry, just so you know, social-wise, the upper limit of social, commerce, and differentiation of labour develop. Specialised roles like tradesman, soldier, and slave are supported at 7. But the largest group is a tribe. Leadership is generally physical strength, or the leader has something that is of worth to the tribe.
Sorry, why?
You disconnected with the one.
I'm now of this.
Essentially, you're not of this cosm, but you can't create contradictions, which means you can't do anything that is not of this cosm. So you're limited to this cosm's axioms: Magic 1, Social 7, Spirit 24, Tech 6. Until you reconnect, which you'll try to do automatically, but you've got to get a good roll for that. Though for now, act primitive. That's the simplest way of dealing with it. The creatures get their go. The one that leapt up onto the car bounds forwards and is heading towards the now slightly confused Dr. Demasalang in that classic raptor charge. The other one appears to be moving slightly more cautiously down the side, is getting cover from the wrecked cars that are parked along the street. So, next combat round.
Are we invigorated?
You
we?
were inspired, but you should have been at full stun anyway at the beginning
What
of this
does
combat.
inspired mean?
It adds 2 to your... I think it's the one that adds 2 to your stun, I think. I could be wrong. I should have checked that.
Shocking.
Give me a second. Shock,
Wondering
yeah.
if it'd have helped us. No.
There was one of us had shock removed, was there not?
Nobody should have had any because you'd recovered at the beginning of the fight.
I mean, in that fight, I thought someone got hit by shock.
Yeah, but it would have been after, though. Well, Lena would have got the 2 shock back that occurred before the combat began.
Wait, can I play a card the same round as I move it to my hand?
No.
No, okay.
Unless it says otherwise on it. But I don't think many of them do.
Sorry to ask, where's the hand?
Right, on your character sheet, on the more core bit, your hand is the bottom left box.
Okay,
Your
so I have
pool
all
is
my
the
cards
one that
here.
says action. You can drag one from there into the action side, and then delete it from the hand side.
Okay, so I could use Inspire to make someone recover 3 shock.
When you're in the next round, you can. You can't play that card the same time you moved it from your hand to your pool.
Okay, well, then I move it now.
Yep.
Okay.
So it is then available. Hang on a second. I'm just double checking inspiration. Yeah, I was worried because there's one that lets you, the inspiration card, I think, lets you draw cards out. In this case, it's all characters on this side, immediate recover 2 shock, unconscious individuals wake up as part of this recovery. However,
Surge system.
Okay, if no one else has got anything better to do, I would like to do the
which the
blessing.
villains go first.
Oh,
You already had your go in the last round.
right.
So the creatures continue to charge. The one that was in the road gets close enough to the doctor and it launches itself with its hind legs up with those 2 vicious sickle claws to strike down at the doctor with an unarmed combat attack. Kerry, what is Dr. Damasalang's unarmed combat defense? It'll be on main. You can either work it out by adding up your unarmed combat skill, or it should actually be listed under defenses. Yours aren't filled in.
I think it's
Yeah, because you haven't got the skill, so it will be just your basic unarmed. And you haven't got melee either, have you? So that's an 8 as well. What's your strength? Toughness is a 6. Okay, fill those in now. Sorry they weren't there before. Have you got all your perks listed there as well?
yeah,
You should have 2. I can only see helper. I can only see the 1.
I can see bolster and helper.
Oh, why am I only seeing 1 then? Are you looking at the image of the sheet or the actual digital character sheet in Morecore?
The image.
Ah, right, okay, that's why I'm looking at the digital character sheet. What was the other one? Helper and...
Bolster,
Right, okay.
which I should have done before it.
Possibly. Well, you still got a choice because there's Surge. However, you've just got a Velociraptor in the mush. I'll explain Surge in a minute. Your defense is an 8. It didn't get huge. It only got a 14, but that's still 5 more than it needed. So it's going to hit you with its nasty claws, and you're going to get a bonus dice of damage. So it's only a 1, so it does 13 damage against your toughness of 6. You're a little bit, yeah, not particularly tough. So 13 versus 6, that's 7 result points of damage, which is 1 wound and 2 shock. You are currently disconnected, which means you cannot spend a possibility to soak. So you take 1 wound and 2 shock.
Can you play cards that act as possibilities?
Nope.
Oh.
That's why disconnection is dangerous. So you look up at the last second and you get big turkey size of a Velociraptor and you just feel white hot pain down the front of your chest. And the thing's on the ground with you and it's on top of you.
Have you written this on my sheet somewhere?
Nope.
Where does damage go?
Right, you can either record it on the front under combat. So your health is equal to your total shock. Yours is 8. And wounds, basically you have 3.
So,
Okay?
Did you
You
say
just
1
took
wound?
1 wound and 2 shock. If your shock goes down to 0, you're unconscious. If your wounds go negative, you're testing for defeat.
Okay.
The other one comes barreling at full speed around the right, again, seemingly trying to get a flank on you. We haven't got the map down. Who's on the right-hand side of the group?
Right near Lena, so I don't know whereabouts.
Okay, so it's going to be between the Professor and the Reverend. Officer Isabel, I'm going to say that as one of New York's finest, you've probably taken up, while you're aiming, you'd have subconsciously taken up a defensive position with the civilians behind you. So it's 50-50 between the Reverend and Dr. Marcus. Odd, it is the Reverend and even it is the professor. The Reverend sees a hellish lizard creature comes diving out towards you and attempts to bite you because it isn't able to leap at this point. That's a bonus number of 0, which means it is currently getting a 10. What is your unarmed defense?
9.
It just hits you. You can elect to do an active defense if you wish, but it will sacrifice your go this round.
Well, so I'm not taking any wounds.
Well, not yet, you know. I've not rolled damage.
Alright, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. It's going to do 10 damage with its slightly less impressive mandibles. What's your toughness?
8.
So that's a result of 2. So you're taking 2 shock as the creature sinks its teeth into the meat of your arm as you bring it up naturally to defend yourself. You feel some slight lacerations, but your heavy, like priest's black jacket seems to take most of it.
How do I add do I just subtract shock from the thing?
What you can do, you can either remember that you've got a 10 because it's equal to your spirit, or if you look on the front panel of the Morcor, there's a combat section which has health and wounds.
Yeah.
Fill the health in with a 10 because that's your shock, and fill the wounds in with a 3. And then subtract from those. That means you don't have to keep remembering, oh, I can remember what my shock actually was. You can just subtract.
So I'm at 7.
You'll be on 8 because you took
8. Oh, you said 2. Okay.
Yeah, not 78, 8. Right. Now, why you don't know, but the same sort of dizzy feeling that you had initially when the original explosion of the arrival of this reality overcomes you briefly. And if you didn't know any better, you would think that the laws of reality just try that little bit harder to make you follow the rules and to stop breaking them like you are at the moment. And this is what happens during a surge. Whether you're using a tool that is native to this reality or not, you each have to immediately check for disconnection. Hang on, I'll tell you what you get in at the moment. So it's a momentary flash of reality, attempting to reconcile all the contradictory things that are in the zone. Now, Lena, you're fine. You're of this reality now. The surge does not affect you. So this is for everyone else. This is a single D20 roll. Care is also unaffected because you can't be doubly disconnected. This is a single D20 roll using the worst of the contradictions. So just roll 1 D20. Doesn't matter. You're still testing for it. Okay, you're not going to disconnect on a 20.
What, a disconnection on 20?
No, you're not going to disconnect on a 20.
Oh.
Who hasn't rolled? Wade hasn't rolled. So just roll 1 D20. You're looking to not get a 1 or a 1 to 4.
Oof.
Very close. So the surge passes over all of you with seemingly no other ill effects. What are you all doing?
I would like to take this moment in time to actually shoot my gun.
Wait. I should do the
You're
blessing
gonna
thing first.
disconnect.
I can just point something out before he does shoot the gun. This is a wonderful time to bring up the way this game deals with shooting into a melee. You have absolutely no penalty whatsoever for shooting into a melee. However, if your dice roll is even, you hit your target. If your dice roll comes up odd, you hit whoever else is in the melee. So you literally have a 50-50 chance when firing into a melee, just so you know.
Question.
Yes.
If you're using long burst, do you throw 7 dice to hit?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what you do, actually. I've got to read it myself quickly. But so, are we doing the shooting first, or is somebody else trying something else?
I'm trying to do the thing. I'll just spend my hero card to
Get a possibility?
yeah. And what? Oh,
Yep. Well, it depends. What are you doing?
I'm trying to do the blessing.
So you're making a faith skill.
Yep.
Okay, so you do reroll in 20s, you are skilled.
Yep. So yeah, that's
So the father raises his voice to the heavens and beseeches the Lord to do what? Strengthen his faithful?
you just. Well, I can't really think of anything like appropriate to. But I mean, I want to improve agility because that's the best thing usually.
Okay. Guide my hand, Lord.
Yeah.
Guard my steps and my hand.
So 3. That's 34, which is a lot.
That's a decent bonus number.
10.
That's a bonus number of a 10. On to your faith.
Faith is 13.
So that's a 23 against the difficulty of the miracle.
10.
So that's a 13. So that is the best success you can get. So you're pumping things by 2 for a minute. I believe that's what it does, isn't it?
Yep.
So everybody within 5 meters of you, which is pretty much everybody within 5 meters, you all, for the next 10 combat rounds, no, 6 combat rounds, sorry, it's the other way around, it's a 10-second round, 6 time in a minute, your dexterity is up by 2. So anything you're doing that comes off dexterity, add 2 to it.
Cool.
Guess who's using a skill that uses dexterity? Wow.
Okay.
Can we do this?
Officer Reyes.
Are these guys tough? Last time I saw them, because if they are, I'm going to do 7 shots. If it's not, I'm going to use 3 shots.
You saw Lena drive one through with a spear.
Okay, so I'll do the short burst then. Here we go.
So which one are you firing at? The one that's on Reverend Marcus, your brother, or the one that is on Dr.
The one that's
Masalang?
on the Marcus.
What?
Okay.
No!
It's so going to be odd now.
You fuck!
It's the final die total.
Oh.
So if you wish to, you have the opportunity to spend something to...
Wait a minute. Let me work out the points and then I'll let you know.
Well, it doesn't matter what the points are at the moment. It's odd.
Oh, so...
No, man, you're hitting Kerry. Not Kerry, sorry, you're hitting...
Okay, so I'll spend the possibility just to try and see if there's...
You've now got a 50-50 chance. If you get odd on this roll again, the overall dice total is even. So
But
you're hitting
see,
the creature. But if it's if it's even...
You know what it's going to...
But if it's at 1 to 10, you get 10, so that's even. Yeah, your odds on getting an even. That's
No,
the
that's
problem.
10.
Exactly, it's even.
No, 27. That's odd.
Yeah, no, but so it adds an even, which keeps it as an odd.
Yeah.
Rolling an extra dice, you were odds on getting
Well,
an even.
that's all I can do. I can't do anything else because you can't add more possibilities. So you've actually made me do worse. Here we go. Let's see. 27. That's 9.
Well, you hit him because it's versus his dodge.
Yeah,
What's your dodge? What's the Reverend Marcus's dodge?
It will be
It's an
10
8.
now.
Oh, a 10, yes, because he has gone up. But don't wait. Essentially, it doesn't matter because his fire combat's on dex as well, so it's also gone up by 2.
I need to work out the thing because I might get extra damage.
You probably will. You probably will.
Saying. That's what I'm saying. I need to work this out.
Yeah, you've fired a semi-automatic weapon at your brother and hit him.
You're doing 3 shots at him as well, not just 1.
21.
Yeah, but it doesn't work out exactly like that.
The
Oh,
total is 20. The total is 23.
You get +2, don't you, for your short burst bonus?
I did that.
Okay.
Oh, yes, that's right. 23. That's 25. Forgot about the +2.
Oh, you're so dead.
Right, let's just double check.
Oh no, that's wrong. It's 29 because there's +4 for the end.
Did you get your +2 because of what he gave you?
Hey.
I used that. Use that, please.
Guys, it doesn't matter. Once he's 10 over the target number, that's 2 bonus dice of damage. It's nothing else.
Was it an all-out attack, so he gets a bonus one as well?
No, it doesn't get that as well. So you've done the short burst, so essentially it just costs additional bullets, but it's the bonus. You're not doing the damage twice, but the bonus is giving you a better chance to get that +1 or +2 bonus dice of damage. So you now need to roll 2 bonus dice.
I'm trying to work out what his damage is. Okay, 13
Is
plus
it the M4?
6s there. Yeah. So that's 2 d6s, isn't it?
Yep.
Don't roll 6s.
You stop saying things. Every time you say something, I roll it.
It's so funny.
Luckily, you didn't roll any 6s. That's only a 6. That's a 19 against your brother's toughness of 8. Okay, that's 11 result points of damage to your toughness, Father Marcus. That's 2 wounds and 4 shock. You are not, however, currently disconnected. So you do have the opportunity to say, right, well, actually, I don't really like the reality wherein my sister just drilled 3 high-velocity rounds into my back, into my oh-so-tender spleen.
Not in the same reality.
So you could spend a possibility and roll reality to soak if you should wish.
Oh, I'm definitely going to do that.
I would. Bear in mind that that will, if you roll high enough, create a reality wherein you do not get to have a go at your sister because she did not hit you with automatic weapon fire.
That is absolutely fine. 16.
So that's a bonus number of 3 onto your reality skill.
Reality skill, and yeah, that's 12. So 15.
So 15. So you need 10s. So a 15 is a good success. It's not an excellent success or superior one. It's a good one. So you get 2 wounds and all shock. So yes, thankfully, that disbelief. There's no way in the world. There's no way in this reality my sister is shooting at my back. And lo and behold, she wasn't. She was shooting at you, but you didn't actually get hit.
This is a question. Did he defend himself?
No.
Okay.
Because he was hit.
Okay, I was just making sure this defend maneuver card thing works out.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was hit. He had to soak.
Okay.
So, after that sibling rivalry situation, who's next?
Can we sum up exactly
firing
what the
into
officer has done?
Firing into... He took a shot at a velociraptor and missed. That's all that just happened.
No,
that's all that just happened. That's all that just happened.
Boat, fled on the boat.
Came back with 2 rifles.
Just everything.
One of which
has just gone wrong.
Yeah, admittedly. But Officer Reyes is serving one purpose. She's enabling us. She is enabling us to accurately use the rule and learn through experience.
Yeah, I'm teaching you from experience, guys. You're learning a lot from me. I've made you have glories. I've made you have.
However, contrary to every other feeling that you might have, Officer Reyes is allowed to move a card from her hand into her pool, even for that utter clusterfudge of an action.
How did I do
yes,
that?
That is correct. There was a choice between a lizard, an invading lizard, and a black man, and the New York cop shot the black man.
That is a terrible thing to say. I feel offended. But how do I get a card that didn't defend or maneuver?
No, you don't get one. You can move one from your hand into your pool.
Oh, right. Oh, I can move. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have 2 in your pool already. You've only got 1. Well, you haven't got any at the moment.
I don't have any because I only aimed last.
Doesn't matter. It's not based on an action. Moving a card from your hand to your pool is something you do at the end of your go, regardless.
Okay, I didn't know that. Right. Okay, so I'll move to.
Okay, so we still have Dr. Masalang, Wade, and Lena, who's telling her son that she's the type of girl she warned him about. That's quite a good motherly thing. That's regardless of primitive society. I suppose if you get really, really primitive, you get to the point where you wouldn't warn your son about, well, you wouldn't worry that he's your son, and it would get very, very Game of Thrones quite quickly.
Yeah, either that or I'd dash a skull in or something.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only reason that's the only reason this happens because the father loved you more than he loved me.
You're adopted. Well, actually, we now know who was adopted. Previously, we were assuming the Reverend was adopted. Obviously, Officer Reyes is the troubled child with parental issues. So, Lena, Wade, Dr. Damasalang, who's going next? Has Professor Darnell been? I'm not sure. You've not been this round, have you, Alexander? It's only Marcus and the officer.
No, I haven't. Can I play the Inspire card to?
If you've got it in your pool, you most definitely can.
I have it on the action box.
Yep,
now.
you can spend it now if you so wish. Do you want to tell everyone what that does?
Play to give all Storm Knights the choice of one possibility: a draw from the Destiny deck, or they can recover 3 shock.
So it's up to you guys. You've got a choice of 3 things. So if you you play that, just delete it from your character sheet, Alexander.
Yeah.
So the professor, it's not necessarily something the professor does, but it can be. But you are inspired. You can describe what happens for this inspiration if you want, Alexander.
So I'm standing in the middle of the group, and I I don't really know what to say.
Well, you've got this innate feeling that you've just successfully defended at least a metaphysical attack from the invading reality. You are all obviously your Earth. You are right. So it could just be that realization is enough to inspire them. If you don't want the doctor, if you don't want the professor to actively say anything.
Yeah. Well, then something like this. I don't really know what to say to.
Sure, it will come in time. So
maybe you know something about a weakness of theirs.
Yeah, it could do. Hit them in the soft parts. That would be enough. But the upshot of it is everyone can either have a bonus possibility, or recover 3 shock, or you can have a new Destiny card. But let me know if you want a card.
I'll recover the shock.
Sorry, what did you say? We dump an item to do this?
No, you don't have to dump anything. He's something has happened that inspired you. We're going to say it's the metaphysical realization that you successfully drove off that weirdness that you just felt. So you can either have a possibility, you can have another Destiny card, or you can recover 3 shock. One of those things. Your choice.
I will take a possibility because they're more powerful than.
Add a possibility as well, then. Guys will have to do that when he gets back. Kerry, you get to do it as well, even though you're currently a bit foobarred through disconnection.
I'll have a possibility, please.
Add it on.
Could Wade go into melee, please, because I want to shoot someone.
That's not your action, though, Alexander. That's just playing a card.
That was funny, though, I have to say.
Well, it shows how dangerous firing into melee is.
Okay, well, I want to look around if there's something like a stick or something or a pipe or anything that I could pick up to defend myself.
You got a really good find check last round. I'm going to say purely through happenstance. You reach down and there's, let's say it's the mirror that's fallen off the front. You know those big mirrors that city buses have on the side of them.
Yeah.
Generally, they have that big metal bit around the edge of the mirror. It's a sort of, you've got that. It's almost like a crowbar.
All right, I will take this.
It's a makeshift club. It's going to do strength +1 damage. However, because it's makeshift, after using it, you will be vulnerable.
All right. Well,
you're off balance, basically.
Yeah. I don't go into attacking. It's not what the professor is there for. But just for sheer self-defense.
Okay.
I will take a defensive position. And
okay. You're doing an active defense, yeah? Or you're moving?
No, just I stay where I am.
Okay.
And can I move the alertness now to the action pool?
Yep. At the end of your go, you can move another card across. You can't spend it this round, but you can always do this. It's the last thing you do in the round. Lena, Wade, Dr. Damasalang.
Can we see anyone? Anything other than the one that's in combat? I do not want.
There are two. There are two in combat. There is one on the Doctor, and there is one in melee with the Reverend.
So there's one on the Doctor.
Yep, because the
Right.
Doctor was crouched down, took a shot, disconnected, click, nothing happened, and then got a Velociraptor in the face. You can see blood down the Doctor's front.
And how far away is the Doctor?
Probably 3 or 4 meters. You were quite grouped. Actually, you're probably more like 5 or 6. You're still within range to get there. You just darted forward to help your mum. Everyone
I'd
else is
like
a little
to
way
take
back.
like a running swipe at it with my hockey stick and see if I can shout.
You're going to have to. I'm going to give you a -2 for shouldering the rifle and then grabbing out the hockey stick.
That's fine.
But you've got whirlwind, so
Yeah, can I? Does that get rid of the -2 sort of thing?
yeah. Unfortunately for you, it does. It wouldn't for anybody else. 'Cause 2 actions: put it away, hit. Well, you're now.
Yeah.
Mine is a whirlwind. I can deal with it.
So I'm going to charge into not into the Doctor, but into the dinosaur that's on it, and just
Yeah, you're just doing a sort of like a 4.
swing me club as I'm running, and
I mean,
like a golf club sort of thing.
Think
as
of
you're
the size of these things. Think of a good-sized sort of Thanksgiving Christmas turkey, but when it's still a turkey, not when it's nicely prepared on the table.
Can I go
So
for its head?
a good 2-3 feet. So you can do an aimed shot like that, but
Okay,
if you hit it enough,
I'll just go for it then. What's all-out attack again? Yeah, I'll go all-out attack because this is like an all-out.
you'll be very vulnerable
I think
for anything attacking you, but you get a +4 bonus on the to hit.
I would be off balance if I did this big swing, so that makes sense.
Yep.
So I'll go all-out
And
attack.
you will get the bonus because you're pulling yourself into that sort of. You're going native, as I say.
Where are we? 19. That's 6.
Yep.
Forget you're getting the +2 bonus if it's Dex related.
It is Dex related
Oh, thank you. Forgotten that.
from the father.
And I get +4 as well.
Yep. So
I'm
before your bonus
currently
number, you're at a +6.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I'm at 21 plus my bonus number is 6. So I'm at 27 without rolling again.
And that's hit it. I can tell you've hit it as good as you're going to hit it.
I will leave it
You're
there.
10 over what you needed. So roll your damage.
+2 damage. No.
+2
No,
dice.
all out attack.
3 dice.
Don't I get +3 because of the
Yeah.
all out? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't think all out. Does all out give you a bonus dice? I can't remember.
It's Savage 3.
Oh no, it's all out. If
Yeah, you're getting that from that, but it doesn't give you it as a standard. So you're getting 3 bonus dice here. 1 from the Living Land World, and 2 from the efficacy of your hit.
Come on.
That's a reroll. So you're at 7, 12, 13, and your last dice. 15.
Plus 11. 26.
26
Head's
on it.
coming off.
Toughness.
Come on. Head's coming off.
Yeah, that's 3 wounds and 6 shock. I'm going to say you decapitate it.
Yay! 4! No, what's my... No, sorry,
It's up to
I've got
you.
to
You can do a golf metaphor all of a sudden if you want. You don't have to use the quote. Game on is your quote.
Game
but
on, that's it.
use another
Game
one.
on!
You can play a card into your pool.
Oh, cool. Drama.
Lena and the Doctor.
Which one did he kill? Did he kill the Reverend or the...
Doctor. The one that was on the Doctor. Because it was on her. Whereas the one I think was
the one in front of the Reverend.
tussling, with the Reverend.
Skellen or Kerry? Who's next?
Oh, so Vanessa looks outraged at her torn clothing, and launches herself at the dinosaur standing in front of her.
Okay. In a split second before that, as you said, you're bringing your make a reality skill check.
+9. So that's 13.
Yep. Spirit 8. Reality, I think you've got a 1, haven't you?
Yeah, +1.
And yep, so that's a 13. Right, just so you know. As I said, normally difficulties are 10s pretty much across the board. And it's the same with these. However, there's a modifier on the reality skill check to reconnect depending on the power of the reality of the zone you're currently in. So there are 3 levels. If it's a mixed zone where 2 realities are equal, there'd be no modifier. In a dominant zone, which this is currently counting as, the reality hasn't completely bedded in, there's a -4, meaning you need a 14 to reconnect. If you're in a pure zone where one reality is entirely holding sway, you need an 18. So your total was 13, you needed a 14, you didn't reconnect. So there's a brief attempt at clarity which you shake off, and as you say, you then leap bodily at the thing.
I'm so sorry, I can't help you this.
Now, bearing in mind, Gaz just took the head off the one that's on you. Are you literally thoroughly beating into the corpse?
Oh, apparently.
Or are you turning and leaping at the one that's by the Reverend?
You said they're as big as a turkey. Can I pick up the corpse and throw it at the other one?
You can do if you wish to. You wouldn't be doing an all-out attack if you really wanted to get really savage. I like the idea of you like launching yourself at the one that's still up, actually.
Yeah, I think I've missed whatever I'd choose to do. So,
what's your unarmed is off of your dex.
Which
Actually,
is +2, by the way.
You are getting a +2, and its unarmed is a 10.
Oh.
And you got a 10, which means you hit. You will be doing your strength in damage against its toughness, but because did you not do it? You described an all-out attack there. I'm pretty sure you described an all-out attack.
Yeah, but
so you actually got a 14.
But it's dead apparently. So
no, you're launching at the Reverend's one.
Okay.
You wouldn't launch yourself savagely at one that's already dead. You'd go for the one that's got teeth.
Never know.
You hit it. So you're going to do strength +1 bonus dice of damage as you literally, the thing turns to look and you launch yourself at it and roll again and add. So that's a 7 onto your strength.
6 strength.
Okie doke. So that's 5, 7, 13 against his toughness. You did 5 result points. These things are what we call mooks. You only need to do 1 wound. So you watch as the previously timid doctor just turns, opens her mouth, the feral shriek, just launches herself at this thing, and you just wrap your arms around it and just squeeze and then grab its head and snap. And the thing's head is just like lolling as it's lying dead in your hands.
Can I just say, just a second before she jumps up and does that, I'm stood over, like flexing as though, like, "Hey, look, I just saved you," and then
she just launches herself away from you at the last thing that's moving.
With the fact that "Hey, look, I just saved you. Look at me, I'm cool." And then, "Oh, okay," she just ripped the head off it.
Yeah, you just snapped the neck of this thing with, some kind of medical skill, perhaps, knowing where the weakest point in the neck joint was, but certainly not a skill you're currently exhibiting anywhere else. Everyone pauses briefly. Again, I'm not going to worry about taking stuff out of your pool at the moment because it was only a quick combat. So we'll leave everything where it is. Normally, we'd take them back, but we'll leave everything where it is just for now. Everything goes quiet. And there doesn't seem to be anything else moving. until after about a few seconds, roar comes from somewhere behind you and off around the corner. Something that sounds big. Most of you look at each other and then begin to move away.
Definitely.
So as a group, deciding possibly seeking shelter here as things are catching up on you isn't necessarily a simple thing. Kerry, could you make another reality check, please? Go ahead, Durak.
We could move up a side of a street, and then if we see anything, we just dump into
Kerry, you now have a choice.
Die.
You can choose to become of the living land reality, or elect to reduce your reality skill by a single add and automatically reconnect to core Earth. It's your choice.
Do that, you're our only healer.
Not to metagame or anything, but what happens to these characters when we finish this Cosm?
They aren't necessarily going to be ones that you play, but any survivors will continue on to be NPCs that you may encounter moving on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'll become of the living land.
Okay.
What?
That's okay. We just have to briefly do something. So,
if it's complicated, don't
well,
worry.
essentially, you have to double check your perks to make sure they're native, natural, and rework. Because, for example, you'd rework your skills because skills that are not appropriate to the living land, such as medicine, science, and the like, you would switch out with living land appropriate skills.
Don't worry. I'll do
Just reduce your reality by 1, just to show it happens. This is why it's dangerous. So decide what you're doing when you do it. So you have this brief moment of existential crisis where there is this deep-seated, throbbing love of everything living and alive, trying to grow like this malignant plant in your breast, and then you just remembering what your therapist told you for dealing with PTSD, you just suck it back. Kerry, if you transfer all the skills onto the actual character sheet on the main tab, then you can reduce it accordingly. Now Wilma gets her Betty. Not just yet. So, but you head onwards, past the wreck of the bus, into a New York that is getting more and more wrecked and ruined as you progress. You reach the point where the main road, which you can still recognise, of Water Street crosses Wall, and Lena, your feral senses just prompt you to tell everyone to just stop. And you gesture quickly, and you all huddle behind what was probably a newspaper stand before it half collapsed. And you gesture up the street to your right. 2 figures are moving down the centre of the street. They are obviously lizard men figures. And they appear to be dragging something. There are 6 of them.
Kill. I'll point at them so everyone else can see them.
Just so you know, you get a chance to look at them. You're relatively well hidden at this point. You get a decent chance to look at them. They look different to the ones you've already seen. They are wearing different clothing. No, you've recovered now, Kerry. You're not savage anymore. You don't know what happened there. You're feeling a little bit embarrassed. They appear to have more totemic stuff on them. They each have a sort of what you could call maybe a mask or a helm that appears to be made out of the front of a skull and the eye sockets of some larger lizard creature. So they've got lots of like leather bands around their arms with stuff hanging off them. They each appear to be dragging a dead body by the ankle.
Human.
Yes, do appear to be human.
Food.
What are you doing? And what you decide to do will determine if combat begins now or subsequently.
Someone might want to aim.
Okay, yeah, you'll have the... I mean, essentially, they've not seen you, so if you decide to attack, you will be attacking from surprise.
I will
Which
do
means you will each be able to put a card into your action pool before the first round starts. And if you don't go first on the first drama card, conflict line, the villains get skipped. So you get to put a card in your pool. So do that now. So you all get to play an additional card into your pools. The captain, Grady, Amber, and Linda all are cowering within the remnants of this, the shackled remains of this newspaper stand.
You can play any amount of cards are in your action pool. Yeah?
Yeah, you're not limited to playing one card, but at the moment you get to put a bonus card from your hand.
No, that's not what I'm asking. There's
if you've got
drama
3
cards
in your
can
action,
only-
you can play 3.
That's not what I'm asking either. If you've got 2 supporter cards, can you play both supporter cards? Because I think drama's the only one that can't do that, isn't it?
Drama you can only play once on an action. Hero you can only play 1 on an action.
Okay.
Right, has everyone put their cards in the pool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Double checking. Okay, the initiative card is they're on the run. A good starting card for you guys. It's still a standard scene. You guys are going first, and in this first round, you get to go first, and you are up. Whatever you do in this round, you will get an additional roll of the dice, whatever you do.
Have they still got my blessings? That's still active?
Yeah, only lasts a minute, so that's gone down.
Yeah, okay.
So again, heroes are going first. It's up to you guys what sequence you go on. So Lena is leaping towards them.
Well, the question is this here. If I was aiming in the surprise round, this is the surprise round, this card, that means I wouldn't get the benefit of the up then.
No, you can. What you're doing is now. So the cards are in your pool. Anything that's in your pool can be used on this action.
How far away were they, you said?
They're probably about 20 meters away from you when Lena leaps towards them.
Okay, so is there any range on like interaction attacks?
As long as they can hear you and understand you.
Yeah, okay, because we're probably trying to catch them unawares. Yeah, I'm gonna. I guess I'll re-roll the blessing.
Yeah, Durak, your aim is essentially you've had time to aim before the surprise round, so you've got an aim and then what you're doing.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I re-roll that since I got it up?
You don't re-roll it, you roll again and add to it.
Oh. 19.
So the up's good. It's not as good as a possibility because the minimum of a 10 doesn't count on it, but still get to roll again.
6 as 18. So I don't get the whole. But they get +1, right? To dexterity.
Yeah, so it's +1 for a minute rather than +2 for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone remember that for the next 6 rounds, you're at +1 dex.
+1 dex? Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
So they've got to cross the distance. So if anyone is using ranged, you can go ahead and shoot before your companions companion meets them in melee combat.
I want to do I want to do first. Is this? I want to use one of the cards.
Sure.
I'm using leadership.
Okay. Can you tell everyone what leadership does, or can people remember?
I play 2 cards into another character's card pull directly from my hand or pull, immediately refill my hand.
Okay, so what cards are you giving to what person?
I'm going to give adrenaline and willpower to. Is it one person?
No. 2 cards into other characters' pool, so you can give
One
card to somebody and one to another.
I was going to give willpower to the doctor. I think that's
Okay.
good healing, isn't it?
Dr. Vanessa gets the willpower card.
Don't know if that worked.
If I could drag it off your character. No, I can do it though. Do you want to put it directly into a pool, yeah?
That's willpower. Was willpower 7.
Yep,
Okay.
done.
And adrenaline into Lena. No, adrenaline 3.
Yep, no worries.
That's deleted too.
Nope, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright, I'll drag it out of the list.
Thought you'd have done because you said okay.
Yeah, no, it was difficult to find the card because I've got about 7 different cards. Underneath adrenaline 3, where you gone? 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 Oh, it doesn't matter. Adrenaline 2's out there, as well. And that's into the action as well. Yeah, you'll get used in a minute, so that's not a problem.
It goes into their hand.
Yeah, no, hand or pool.
Hand. It goes into their hand.
No, it goes into their pool.
Oh, does it?
Yep. From your hand or pool, but it goes into their pool, so they can play it immediately. And then the more important thing is you get another 5 cards.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yep, your hand immediately refills. 2.
No, I knew that
3.
bit. I didn't know when to their pull. That was actually
4.
pretty good.
5.
Oh, sorry. Where did we start from?
Sorry, I'll drag him in. Coup de grace. Nemesis. Coup de grace.
I'm very coup de grace today.
Roman.
Okay, now I take my shot.
Yes, you do. Like I said, there are 6 of them. They're spread out roughly across the street.
Has one of them got a big number 1 on the side of it? I'll go for that one first.
Sure. I haven't got a map for this, but
7. Damn it.
you're in and up. Roll again and add.
Oh, sorry.
It's an 18. That's a bonus number of 5, so you're getting a total of 9 thanks to your aim.
9 plus the 1, which is 10, plus the fire combat is 22.
Did you add the 1 from?
Yeah, that was the one he was adding. Yeah.
All good.
Okay, their dodge is a 10. So that's a 12. So you're doing 2 extra bonus dice of damage. You're at short range for the rifle, so there's no additional minuses.
So it doesn't matter anyway.
So that's plus 2 bonus dice of damage. 4 on top of your base damage of
13, which is 17.
Okay. 17.
What's its
5.
toughness?
So you've done
12.
1 wound, 2 shock. So opponent number 6. There's a brief red explosion in its side as your bullet hits, and obviously it knows you're there and it turns, but the rest of you are swiftly approaching them or deciding what to do in a ranged situation. Anybody else shooting?
Yep, me.
Okay, Wade, do you want to take your shot? Which one are you shooting at? A different one or the lead one?
Sorry, just finding something.
There are 6. We will call them a Dinos 1 to 6.
Is there a picture?
Right, could I... Are you able to do like multi-attack and shoot 2?
Of course you can.
Get -2.
You're actually doing... I think it's probably... There's multi-action, but I think what you want is actual a multi-target. Let me just double check it.
A question. If you're doing the, like you're firing a short burst, does that make up for the penalty that you get if you do multi-targeting?
Well, you'd still get the multi-targeting penalty, but if that's counterbalanced by the short burst,
Yeah.
you can do more than one thing. Generate a bonus for each action. If any of the actions were an attack, compare the targets to each target. Right, you cannot use the same skill more than once in a multi-action. So you can't make 2 fire combat attacks, but you can use multi-targeting. Slightly different.
Right,
You're only doing
okay.
one thing. You can attack multiple opponents at once with physical or interaction attack. Each additional target incurs a -2 penalty to the test. Firing at 3 targets, for example, subtracts 4 from the attack test. You cannot hit more targets than you have shots, but see rapid fire below. So are you deciding to shoot at...
Do multiple targets and
So-
use the long burst.
So I could do long burst and hit all 6.
You...
Because I have
That
7
would-
rounds.
Yeah, but that would be 7 rounds per target.
Oh crap. Okay. So okay, forget that one.
So you could do a short burst,
Short
use up 6
burst.
rounds and hit 2 of them.
And the -2 would be counteracted by the +2 because of the
Yep.
short burst.
Yep.
And that's 6 rounds. Let's go for that then. Let's try and
Okay.
hit 2 of them.
But bear in mind that that might increase the mishap range or the malfunction range of a 1 to 2.
So if I roll a 1 or 2, is that right?
It's
Yep.
nice knowing you.
But oh damn it!
Well, if you
Oh,
roll a 1, you're going to disconnect anyway. But if you roll a 1 or a 2, because you're doing that, the gun malfunctions anyway, and you don't actually shoot.
see what happens. Hey, and I get up.
Yep, you are up. So that's a 24.
4. Let's see, where am I at? +2 -2, so forget that. 24 is 8.
On your fire combat. You're not getting a minus because of the short burst counterbalancing that.
Just wondering whether to use any possibilities on this. Where the hell is it? It's fire combat, isn't it? This one.
It is indeed.
This
So you're at a
is
13, I think. No, 12.
13, yeah. Well,
You're on a
plus
12.
1 for
Yes,
plus
plus
1
1
for the
for
rev.
the
So,
good reverend.
so was it 8? So 21. At the
That would hit.
I am gonna try and go. I want to get 2 extra bonus dice though.
Well, you are getting 2 extra bonus dice already. I will say you don't
Okay,
roll
well,
any possibility. Their dodge is 10.
Right.
A 21 is 10 more than they have. You're getting 2 bonus.
Forget that then. So I roll 2 bonus dice.
Yep.
And
And I think you roll damage.
get the extra one or not?
separately. Extra one for what?
because of the living world, or is that only on multi-action, not multi-target?
It's only if you're doing an all-out attack, which is melee
Oh,
only,
all-out attack. That's
and
it. Sorry.
also only when attack is an approved action in the round. It is not.
Right. Amount. So I roll 2 dice and add it to 13. 13. Right.
Apparently, you do just do one damage total.
Just do what? Sorry.
You only do 1 damage total. You don't roll separate, so they all take the same damage.
They take.
This keeps it a bit simpler.
So that's 18.
That's it. They take 18. It's not armor piercing or anything like that, is it?
Doesn't say so.
Then it isn't.
I don't remember reading that.
18 off of their toughness is 6 result points, so they each take a wound and 2 shock.
Right, before you move on then, sorry, I will play to add a bonus die to the damage of your successful attack. Seems like they take the same attack thing. This will hit both of them then, won't it?
Yep.
Maybe played after rolling other bonus dice, including the coup de grace.
Is that coup de grace?
Right? Coup de grace. I'm going to play coup de grace to get an extra
I know that
D6.
because it explicitly mentions coup de grace in the example as well. So, yeah, that's fine. So they're currently on 6 result points of damage. So roll. That's an 11. 13.
13.
That's 2 wounds and 4 shots. 2 of them go down.
Yes!
They wouldn't have gone down had you not just done that. So Wade steps out from behind the ruin of the New York Times sponsored newsstand, and you just unload sort of against two of these intimidating looking lizards, and they are just mown down. There are only 4 of them still standing.
Ah, nice shooting, kid.
So that was Wade. Anyone else at range? Dr. Demasalang?
Yep. Can I try and shoot 2 of them?
You can do exactly what Wade just did if you wish. You've got a pistol. I don't think you can do short burst, so you'll be at a -2.
Yep.
As long as it's done,
extra
he's able to do
dice,
a rate fire. I think it probably can. Let me just double check. Yeah, because rapid fire allows you to mitigate the minuses. So, yeah, you can attempt to shoot twice. You'll be at a -2. So the 8, before we work anything else out, roll again for your up. That's a 22.
Plus
Nice.
8.
Plus 8 on your fire combat skill versus their dodge of 10.
Don't forget you get to add 1 to your
Thanks to the
dexterity.
Reverend. So I think your fire combat is a 10 at the moment.
Yeah, 10.
Okay, so you had 8 results, which is enough to get 1 bonus die of damage. So you do the weapons damage, which you know I don't, and then add an extra exploding d6.
Unless you want to roll again and add, see if you can get an extra die.
You'd have to spend a possibility if you wish to do that. You didn't wish to do that.
No. That's damage 13.
So 13, that's a total. That's the normal damage, then add the 4, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's 17 versus their toughness of 12. That's also not armor piercings, but you do.
No,
5.
The damage of the revolver was 12.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at M4 carbine. I don't know why I was given
Okay.
that.
It's
So it's 16.
16, so it's enough to do shock to them.
Okay.
Can I ask the question, because I wasn't paying attention, I was reading the card. How much over the person's
What
shooting
toughness or to hit?
Hit.
5 to hit gives you an extra bonus damage.
So he was only 5 over. Okay, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. That's fine. It would have been different.
Why draw the second dice, Kerry?
Sorry?
Why draw the second dice?
The second shot, right?
No, you fire. You do it in 1.
Oh, right.
It's just a -2 to shoot. Essentially, shooting at 2 people, 3 people -4, 4 people -6.
Okay.
As long as it's not a weapon that's got a reload requirement and stuff like that. But you shoot out. It's only glancing shots, as you're obviously trying to get your aim in, but you've impacted them. Lena and the Professor, who are apparently charging.
Ah,
But Lena can go first.
I got inspired.
right. How many are left?
Well, there are still 4 standing.
Right.
1 wounded, 2 winded, and 1 untouched.
Right, straight for the untouched one then. Wild attacking.
All out, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, all out.
Okay, you're not getting the law of savagery on this one, but you have relentless, which means you can all out attack and elect to take 3 shock in order to add a bonus die of damage anyway.
Yeah.
You're up, so you get to roll again. So that's 6.
I'll just knock that 3 shock off, so I get to roll again.
Yep, because you're up. That's a 12. So you're getting a bonus number of nothing currently. What's your melee weapons?
It's 3. My dex is 9, so it's 12.
Well, you hit. They only have a melee weapons of 11. In fact, their unarmed combat is also 11 because they are not currently. Well, they have weaponry, but they've not pulled it out yet because you're in the surprise round. So you're not doing any bonus beyond your own inherent +1 bonus damage from relentless.
Wait. He's 12 over their 10, isn't he?
He has a total of 12. They have a 10, so he's currently 2 over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I'm gonna use supporter 52 on him.
Okay, is that in your pool?
Yeah, I'm just about to delete it.
Not a problem. So essentially, that basically means that you get a +3 to that action.
So makes it 15.
Officer Reyes yells something, or just does something, or you're inspired by the death that's in front of you. Your spear turns at the last moment to get a slightly more palpable hit. That is enough to give you an extra bonus dice of damage, because you're now 5 over their difficulty, which is enough to give you a bonus dice. So you're doing your base damage plus 2 bonus dice now.
8 over doesn't give me any more, does it?
You'd need 10 more. You'd need 5 more, basically. So your 8 doesn't give you anything.
Alright, so...
I wouldn't waste your own adrenaline card just yet.
So if I'm doing 3d6 damage, basically, am I?
You're doing your normal damage, which is the value of the spear, plus 2 bonus dice. Because you got your own 1 plus the 1 for getting 5 over. No, it's only 2 dice.
Oh.
It's alright, because essentially... No, don't worry. Stop doing that. So the 6 and the 3 are fine. Then you reroll the 6 for another 6, which gives you another reroll, which you got a 5 for, taking them in sequence, yeah?
18.
So 5, 10, 15, 18 bonus damage. Yow, your bonus dice are ridiculous. Even with the unwanted last 6. So 18 onto your damage, which I think is a 12, isn't it? Strength plus 2 for a rock spear?
Yep.
So you essentially...
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not even going to calculate it. You
30.
stab him, twist, there's a crack, you pull out. It's like 20 result points off their 18 result points off their toughness. So 3 wounds, 6 shock. They only have 1 wound. You run the lizard man through, and it falls to the floor, blood gushing from its mouth, prayers to its goddess, dead on its lips.
I stand on its bloody corpse and I'm going to play Flurry and have another go.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Oh.
So just, I'll delete the flurry off your character.
And I'll let the next one.
Yep, this is one of the winded ones at the moment.
You still got your up, don't you?
I believe it's anything in this scene. Let me just double check. It might only be the first action, but I'll double check. Extra 10 this round. Destiny card. Yeah, no, it's an action this round, so yep. No, it's only a 12, so.
But does it... So 12 gives me plus 0.
Yep, so just nothing onto your skill.
My
which
skill
is Dex plus a melee weapon.
So that's 12.
But you're getting a bonus of 1 from the Good Reverend. 13. It hits, it's not enough to do bonus damage.
Is a 16 enough to do bonus damage?
Oh, were you doing another all-out attack?
Yes.
Add 4 to that then. Because you get a plus 4 bonus from all-out attacks.
So 17.
So that is doing bonus. Are you going to take shock in order to?
You're still adding the 1 from the Reverend.
Yep.
If you had another 3, you would be throwing 2 extra damage dice.
Oh,
So
there you
I'll
go.
play the adrenaline card.
That gives you the another extra damage dice. Are you spending the shock to make your all-out attack relentless?
Oh yeah.
Okay, take another 3 shock off. You're really tiring yourself out, but
It's fun.
you successfully stab towards the winded one with 2 bonus damage from the success of your attack and a 3rd one because of your relentless strike. So you are now doing 3 bonus dice damage on top of your normal 12.
Nice.
And roll that 6 again. You're currently on a 11, 16, 28 damage.
You're a killer.
Lena just spins on the spot, reverses the spear, almost balletic, and just brings the rock spear through the head of one of the ones that was stood there briefly winded. Professor.
Do I get any
Yes.
card?
You can play one, but you don't get one. Because it wasn't, the approved action is intimidate round, not
Oh, I see.
attack.
Sorry, off you go, Professor.
So there's nothing left for me.
There are 2 left. There is a
There are
winded
2 left.
and a wounded one.
Okay, I go for the wounded one.
Okay, that was the closest.
Okay, so I charge forward with my bus mirror, and I try to smash it on the head.
Okay, their unarmed combat is a 10, so your difficulty is at 10. Sorry, an 11. So your difficulties are 11s.
Alright, so...
That's a 17. You're up, so roll again and add.
Again.
That's a 35.
That's a 35, that's a plus 10.
Onto
on
your
Glory! Glory!
on my-
your unarmed your melee weapons, if you have it. If you don't, it's just your dex.
My dex is 7, so it's 17.
Hits it with more 6 over, so you're getting a good success at the moment. So you'll be getting a single bonus dice of damage.
Okay. How
And
does the bonus dice work again?
You pick up a d6 and you roll it. If it's a 1 to 5, just take the total. If it's a 6, you take a 5 and roll again and add.
Okay, perfect time for him to start doing 60s.
So you only got the 1, so you only have to roll it once. You got a 5 on both of them. So your strength plus 1, because that's all the bonus damage your improvised mirror club does.
It's 8.
So
Strength
8
plus 1.
plus 5 is a 13. You wind the wounded one a little further. As you do enough. Actually, I've shortchanged you there. You've done 2 shock to it, not 1, which I just did. The brief surprise wearing off, because you went first with the bonus card, they still get a go this round. The 2 remaining ones look at their fallen brethren, and together they both begin a ululating, sort of honking reverie, and they seem to clasp their hands and concentrate as they both pray. Okay, number 1 is at a -1 for wounds. He gets a 15, which is a bonus number of 2 to his faith. That gives him a 16, which is enough to get his spell to work. Lena, sorry, what is your toughness? No armor, please.
Oh, I'm
Kel,
sorry.
what's Lena's toughness?
I was oddly thinking about something. Is a 10.
Okay. You feel a sort of a sensation of the ground itself just leeching your energy. Take 2 shock.
I now have 0 shock.
And you fall unconscious.
Mom!
Dr. Parnell. A similar feeling overcomes you. However, I've just got to make sure this numbers are right. 17 is a bonus number of 4. Gives him an 18. Oh, hang on. I did that slightly wrong. Skellen, what is your faith skill total?
1.
Skill total, so that plus your spirit.
Oh, 9.
Fine, he still didn't get enough to get a 5 result, so you're still unconscious. Professor Darnell, what is your spirit or faith total if you have the faith skill?
I have the faith. No, I don't have the faith skill. And the other
Okay,
one
so
was?
just your spirit stat is an attribute.
Is 8.
Right, so his bonus number of 4 from 17 adds to his faith of 14, giving him an 18, which is 10 result points over what you have. You're not wearing any armor, are you?
No.
Okay. That is the same draining sensation comes over you. Anybody looking at the professor, you can literally see, you know, when you sort of get like the energy gets drawn out and sort of the cheeks become drawn and sort of the skin begins to pull back on the knuckles and that sort of thing. That's just happened to the professor as he took 2 wounds and 4 shock. Do you wish to attempt to soak that?
No, he doesn't. Because I'm going to make it fail.
How are you going to make it fail?
Opponent fails.
Thank you very much.
27.
Essentially, that attack failed. His plea to his deity, for some reason, went unanswered. So there you go. Wade's good for you there.
I grab for my throat and catch a breath.
Do indeed. Still a standard scene, so that's what they were doing. You are up again this round, and you are going first. There are 2 of them left. They are stood now, ready for you, so they're not surprised anymore. Lena is lying slumped on the corpse of a last kill. Who's going first, and what are they doing? One of them is not in melee combat.
I just wanna smash the one again.
Okay.
Before you do that, I would probably like to let's see, what's the intimidate or taunt? Should I intimidate or taunt? I'm not sure.
One of them's in melee, Durak. The one that Professor Darnell is attacking, which is the wounded one, is in melee. The winded one is not in melee.
No, I was just making sure I'm not shooting someone again.
Yeah, 9 result point, 9 on that.
Well, I'm going to taunt both of them.
Okay.
Before I do any of that, if I may.
Well, I think the Professor Moore's up close, so he's not waiting for your taunt to finish, but that will still impact the other one. Just wait until you see what the result you get from him is. So hang on, Professor, you're rolling 2 dice. You should only be rolling 1 with that.
I thought
You hit with a 16. No,
Okay.
the up only affects the d20 roll.
Alright.
But reasonable question. So you add 3 to your damage, which is strength plus 1.
It's 8 plus 1.
9.
7 plus 1 is 8, and then plus
12.
3 is 12.
11.
Then-
So you do another shock to him. They appear to be a little armoured, so your initial rage has cooled down a bit. It's a tiring thing, combat. You hit him, not with as much force as you did previously. Go ahead, Reverend. He's the one that's just been struck is still up. He's still about, so you can go ahead and intimidate both of them still.
Okay, so I got... How much was that? That's
So it's
16.
a
But I'm gonna... Okay, a question. The master plan card, does it do what I think it does? Which is, I can play, say, hero, the hero card, and then I can play the master plan card to get the hero card back?
Is it the one that lets you pull a card off of the discard pile?
Yeah.
Yep. In your action pool, unlimited, but at the end of a full combat, you basically recoup them back into your hand, and if you've got more than 5, for you guys at the moment, you have to discard down.
Yeah. Okay, well...
But yes, you are correct in your assumption there. Master Plan lets you recover a card that's just been played.
Well, I'm going to play Hero 26 and use that as a possibility to add... Ooh.
Roll again. That's
Oh,
18.
What's the
So
total?
you're on 16, 18, 34.
34.
That's 10.
10, yeah. 10 plus 13 minus 2.
21.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to taunt them with that.
Okay,
Well,
that's enough to
taunt
get
isn't-
2
sorry.
results. You're doing Intimidate. Didn't you say that?
kind of just doing intimidate, whatever.
That's enough to get a good result.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Not a player's call. So do you want them to be stymied and vulnerable, very stymied, or very vulnerable?
I want it to be very vulnerable.
Okay, so they are both VV. So anybody from this point on in the combat is getting a +4 against either of them, as they are looking shocked at the fire and brimstone, just sheer chutzpah that's coming out of the mouth of this reverend. Especially, I mean, one of them, especially, he's obviously sensing that this is a man of faith, and his faith has just failed him as a result of the.
What does taunt do? Sorry, before you go.
It's the same thing. You end up, you're just doing a different means to get them stymied or vulnerable.
You give him his extra card. I'm going to shoot the one that's not in melee.
Is it worth me taunting them before he does that? Or are they maxed out that way?
Well, they're very vulnerable. You could make them stymied, which would make their actions harder to do.
But they're probably not
So
going to
I can do that after him, though. So
you could do that after Durak.
I don't need to do that before Durak. It's not going to help Durak.
Nope.
Yep, you go first then.
Okay.
Badger, have you got that rally into your hand? That's the card you got for doing an approved.
Right.
Oh, does he get a bonus to that 10?
We always roll again on a 10. And a 10.
Oh.
Close.
What's that?
It's a 46.
46.
So
What are you doing? You're shooting at them, aren't you?
Thinking.
Go for the glory.
Sheesh. Stop making me do things.
Go for it. Go for it.
Try glory.
So what are you doing?
Not try glory. I'm trying to pass. I'm using the possibility to roll our
Sure.
dice.
Okay, it's going to be at least a 10. It's 10.
Oh, damn it.
So that's
Have you got
56.
56. Have you got a hero or a drama card?
I don't have any cards that I can play that give me extra dice rolls.
He does not. 56 is quite good, though.
Can I play any? Can I? No,
That's
you can't. You
a
only can
bonus
sell.
number of 15.
It's a bonus number of 15 plus. Where's my thing?
Plus 4.
Plus
so they're
4,
being very vulnerable.
15.
So 19.
19 plus the 19, 20, 19, 29, 30, 32. No, yeah, 32. 19,
Yeah, that gives you a
30.
plus 2 dice damage.
I was so close. If only I'd got like a few more than a 5.
Or more. If you'd rolled a 14. You'd have to roll a 14, though. So it's a bit more than you'd actually roll.
If you'd have had a hero or drama, it'd have automatically done it though.
You would have
10.
automatically done it at that point to get the extra 10, yes.
But so close, unlucky.
So 2 bonus dice damage on top of the M4. That's another 7.
That's 20 damage.
Yep. Another wound takes him down. Who remains? That's everyone, isn't it? No, Wade.
I've not been. I don't know if
There's
I don't know
one
the cards, can she?
wounded one remaining in melee with Professor Darnell that is very vulnerable.
I'll attempt to stymie it. I don't think the doctor's been either, has she?
Has Dr. Vanessa been yet, Kerry?
We may have lost.
No, we've got Kerry. I don't think she's been this go, has she? She's only shot once.
Yeah, I'll take another shot, I think.
Okay, now bearing in mind,
Okay.
you
Can I
will
try to
be
stymie it
shooting. You can do. You
Just
will
so
be shooting
It kills it.
an opponent in melee combat with somebody else, which, as we found out
yeah.
earlier, if your dice roll is even, you'd hit them. If the dice roll is
You go
odd,
first.
you might hit the professor. But Wade's going to try and taunt it first.
Yes, I'm going to taunt
It's in
it
classic
first.
taunt territory. It's down
So I'm
to
gonna-
1 out of 6.
I'm going to sort of like hold my gun up and you want that to happen to you? Yeah, screaming at it, going, "Come on!"
Go ahead.
And it laughs at me. Oh no, I get another one.
You are up.
Does that mean the 2 because he rolled?
Oh, I just got a 20. Oh, it didn't land on the thing. No! You twat!
If it was tabletop rules, it's off the table, so you'd have to re-roll.
Oh, I got a 20! Yes!
Are you skilled in taunt?
Yes, I am.
Then you roll again on a 20.
Oh, John, before we
Yes.
go on, he rolled the math range.
But taunt is not something. He's not doing something that's the way it works. What they call it's either a 1-case contradiction or a 4-case contradiction. It's a 1 case if what you are doing is alien to either you or the reality. It's a 4-case if what you're doing is alien to you and to the reality. So using a laser gun in the living land and you're from core Earth, that's a 4-case contradiction. Very risky. Using a core Earth gun in the living land and you're from core Earth, 1-case contradiction. So that's a 41.
Come on, do the friggin'
what is it?
thing and roll that dice again. Come on, you want to get a 60.
It's charisma.
I want to get a 60.
Go on, let's give it a go. I'll do a possibility.
Okay, so you're on 41.
You have a card to use as a possibility as well later on.
You're on 57.
Oh,
And I will use a
By the way-
drama card.
Does anybody have a glory card in their pool?
Oh, you better have.
I have.
Good. Because you don't
Right.
have to be the person to play the glory card, really.
So what am I on? I'm on 20, 30,
57.
40, 57. Right,
You
and I've just
get
played
a
a drama
2.
card. So,
If
I've
you
done
get
it.
a
That's
2,
all right.
okay.
No, it's an
You've done it.
automatic 10.
Oh, right.
Is it enough or not?
So, 67 at least. Phew.
You would be pleased to know that mishap is only on your first die roll. So any subsequent dice that comes up with a 1 or a 1 to 4 doesn't matter.
So we can now play the glory thingy.
Yeah,
You can indeed.
Can you play more
Do
than
you play
one
that now,
glory?
or do I
2 of
finish
them
my
are better.
turn first?
You can play it now. I'm just double checking the text of the glory card. I've got to find the ones that are not in play.
There was 3 glory cards. What about the other 2 people?
I didn't have a glory card, so it's not me.
It's just not in their pool. Right.
Oh, do you have
So-
2? Oh no, both the same.
Yeah, you can't use them. You can't use them both on the same action.
I only have 1 in the pool at the moment.
Yeah. But just so you'd have to be another action of 60 plus to play a second glory card.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Okay, so what's your total?
67.
That's the total dice roll.
Oh, great. Right,
Which
so
gives
what's
you
that give me?
a 14, 15, 16, 17, I think. Because that's
Right.
51 to 55 is 14. Up to 60 is 15. Up to 65, 17. And you've got a 63. Plus 17 is your bonus number.
26.
26 against his taunt defense, because he doesn't have taunt, just his charisma. So that's 20. So if you're 10 over, you get a player's call. So you're going to make him very stymied regardless. What is the reasonable yet dramatic outcome you would like to have from this obviously oh so effective taunt?
He shits himself and all his intestines fall out. No.
What you could do is make him run towards you so he gets out of melee, and then that's someone who's going to shoot into melee doesn't shoot into melee.
Correct. Kerry said
Yes.
something as well. Make sure you
What did
listen to what
Kerry?
Kerry
Sorry?
said.
I don't know what he said.
Maybe you just surrender.
Oh, do we want to surrender? He can surrender that. Okay. I fear what we're going to do to a surrendered lizardman, but yeah.
In fact, that's what happens. Does indeed. He falls to his knees before you. Hands down at the ground. His head is raised. He's looking at you, but his hands are literally on the ground, and he is in a completely sessile state. He's obviously surrendered. His entire body language is one of submission and defeat. Now, All players immediately receive one possibility. So everybody please put their possibilities up by one.
I like it. Every time I spend one, I get one back next
Do I
turn.
get a card as well because I succeeded at a taunt?
You do, so we'll do that one first. Because the combat will just finish. So we are now going to have to deal with what happens at the end of combat. But it's going to be complicated, so we'll do one at a time. So Gaz, you get this card.
Action.
Kerry, as a result of the glory card, you get this card.
Huh?
The glory card result, you immediately receive a possibility and get a destiny card. Yeah, hero points, we need to rename it on your character sheet, they're the same.
But it was the professor that used the
Yeah, I didn't.
Doesn't matter. All
We all get
player characters immediately receive one possibility and draw a destiny card. So Kerry, the Doctor, gets second chance. Wade, you also get Maelstrom.
That sounds hard.
Skellen, you get Flurry.
Yeah, I love Flurry.
Reverend Marcus. Professor Darnell, you gain Transfer. Officer Reyes, you gain Fail. Combat ends. Everyone now needs to move all of their cards from their pool back into their hand.
No.
We're allowed 6 now, though.
Your hand size has gone up to 6. Anybody that has less or more than 6 cards, anybody have more than 6 cards in their hand, bottom left box.
Yeah, I got 8. So
You need to discard down to 6.
Yeah.
Anybody.
I got 4.
Okay. Now, at this moment in time, you don't, however, draw back up to 6 if you've got less, though. So the only people that need to worry, I think that's just you, Badger, discarding down, so you've only got 6. Normally, you'd be reducing down to 4. Actually, Kerry, you've got 7. Well done, you're doing the last one. So, you now have, in this bizarre melange of an urban scene overcovered with a get me out of here wilderness environment, you have 5 dead lizard men, 1 living lizard man, and 6 human corpses. Professor, and a sleeping Lena. Professor,
Yeah.
you're close enough. You're in the middle of everything. You're the first to notice that each of the human corpses that was being dragged by these lizard men, the chest cavity has been torn open. So literally the rib cage has been torn open from the centre. As you are a reasonably scholarly medical man, maybe an evidence analysis, as you're looking. A bit dark bile, roll again and add, bile rising in your throat as you're seeing this terror.
So 17 means plus.
That's a 4. And I think you're one of the people with evidence
And
analysis.
that's
being-
mind, right?
got it.
It is.
Is it mind? Yeah.
It is indeed. So mind plus your evidence analysis of 2, so that's a 13.
Yeah. Plus 4. It's 17.
You bend down to briefly examine one of the corpses, and you instinctively recoil because inside the chest cavity there appears to be a small black, almost like seed, about the size of an avocado pit, but it's black and it's nestled within the organs, still red with blood. But as you look at it, the reason you recoil is it seems to sort of pulse or squirm slightly. And it's like, that's shocked you a little bit, that has. And you look and you see that each of the corpses have got these same seeds embedded in the chest.
What is this? I get out like a pen
Mm-hmm.
from my jacket and I poke into it.
Okay. You poke. It seems to definitely be more organic than solid. I said it's about the size of an avocado pit, but it isn't solid like an avocado pit. It's more the consistency of flesh.
I try to
And you're
move
looking
the pen under it and
Yeah.
Try to lever it.
Okay, just give me a bonus onto any skill you can justifiably apply to doing some kind of fine work in a medical environment.
Science.
Yeah, go science with mind. Yeah, because I'm not going to make you do dex in this one. You've got sort of thing.
So 18 is 5, mind is 11 is 16, plus 1 is 17.
You turn your pen around, and you manage to poke the pen into it to get a bit more purchase. And the thing you notice as you lift this strange black object from the chest cavity is it's somewhat attached, and you can see that where it was touching the flesh, it would appear that there are like short, only about centimetre, maybe 2 centimetres, tendrils that had begun to move down. So it's like the object has sort of short patches of 2 centimetre roots hanging down off the bottom of it.
Alright, do they move or something? Do they?
It does seem to be sort of like pulsing with an unnatural fetid life, but it's not going like pulse like a heart. It's every so often the surface will squirm.
Have you seen these guys? And I walk over.
Lena, you begin to come round.
What happened?
Yeah, don't put it in your mouth.
Has anyone got a match? Can we burn these things before they spread?
Yeah, this looks like a complete abomination. We gotta get rid of these things.
There's one in the chest cavity of each corpse.
Is there any way as a doctor?
You got a lighter?
I have a flare gun with no flares.
Go ahead and say what you're saying, Kerry.
Is there any way as a doctor I might know how it was attached, what it might do? Like where it's placed?
Give me a medicine check. Your difficulties at this point... it's a 20. And the attempt itself is contradictory to your own reality.
Oh.
So it would have been a one-case contradiction, just theorizing.
Is the doctor a real doctor?
Oh yeah, she's a real doctor.
Okay.
Well, emergency medical technician by profession.
I remember.
Massively skilled medical doctor by skill set. You have, looking at it, Kerry, you've never seen anything like it. Taking a closer look at the tendrils, it conforms to no physiological or biological process that you can bring to mind.
Do I think it killed him?
No, you think without a shadow of a doubt, the wounds that probably killed these people. Give me another medical check quickly. Yeah, -10, a 6 is a -4. Yeah, you're still getting enough for this. The opening of the chest cavity was post-mortem. You can see on the first corpse you're looking at, there is a significant bite wound that probably severed the main aorta in the woman's neck. So she died from significant exsanguination from the neck artery. Give me another roll for one of the others. You, apart from the chest cavity on one, you look and you turn it over, and you can see there's evidence that claws were rammed heavily into this individual's back. There's a big wound on the back that appears to have pulled the kidney out of a massive exit wound on the back. So again, the chest cavity wound post-mortem. You quickly go through each of them. Each of these people appears to have been killed in a violent and aggressive way, either via hand-to-hand combat involving claws or teeth. One of them has literally got a hole in his head, which it matches the spears that you've seen elsewhere. But the chest wound, post-mortem, in each instant, the corpse has had its chest ripped open, and then this object placed within the chest cavity.
Lovely.
Perhaps it's some sort of egg, and this is the nest.
Lena will shrug and look at the more intelligent members of the group.
Mum, why aren't you looking at me?
Your son's got some issues. Lena, while you're looking towards the more intelligent members of the group, as they're all studying, looking down, and you're looking more up, just make me a find check.
Every time we're all fine, you know, something bad happens.
Possibly.
Oh, and this is how it all started. Ah,
That's the 4.
fine. 4, 5 in total then.
Right. Lena, you're looking, and while you're looking, about 4 blocks southwest, just off the road that you're currently on, to keep it in core Earth terms, as your eyes fall upon what looks like a relatively derelict looking skyscraper, before your eyes, the skyscraper turns into a tall crystalline spire with blue and red crystals across it.
No.
It does not look like anything else you have seen
Magic.
in this area. It looks different, and you're certain that is not of the land.
Magic shouldn't be here. Not ours. Magic. Point. Look offended by the object.
Yep, your attentions all turn. Obviously, when you guys all turn round, you're seeing a tall, at least the height, possibly higher, than a skyscraper, untouched by vegetation, a tall crystalline spire, like I said, probably at least sort of steel grey coloured, but there are red and blue crystals jutting out from it. It appears to be topped by something akin to a minaret, with some more crystal poking out from one side.
You just need a good hammer then.
The only thing you can say is it's in the approximate direction of the Manhattan Hospital. So it's if you were heading for the hospital, it's on your way.
Okay, weren't we also possibly heading for a police station?
Yep, you've got a choice of going left or right, and as far as Officer Reyes was concerned, it was a toss-up if it was left or right. This is along the way, or if you headed right, then that's the direction the guys dragging the stuff roughly were coming from. You're just as likely to hit a police station as if you headed left, which was the direction those guys were dragging in. As you're standing there deciding, Grady was the first person to talk. He says, "What, are we going to stand here or are we going to move?"
Currently looking at the map, trying to work out where I am.
I think we should head towards the hospital.
Yeah, I think we should head to the hospital. It's the first big landmark we've seen so far that may answer some questions.
Whatever it is, I think it is ungodly.
Big cave.
So you're hospital bound, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be lucky. It's America. There's probably like big gun shops every street corner or something.
Within a few minutes, you turn a corner. You've been cautious. You're double checking. You've seen no more evidence of these. So the lizard man who's with you is quietly walking behind. Lena, did you probably tie his arms or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's being dragged behind. You turn the corner, and you can now see the structure ahead of you. Hang on a second. Come on, where's the bloody picture? I have got a picture for this. I just need to find it. There we are. And it's such a good picture that Lena herself is featured within it. The bizarre vegetation covering the city parts. So you're looking at a relatively untouched city block at this point. However, the block itself is dominated by the steel grey. At this side, you can see metal tower, which stretches up at this range higher than any of the surrounding skyscrapers. As I said, it's topped by something akin to a minaret, and you can see all around the bottom these red-blue crystals jut out of the pavement and from the sides of the building. As you approach, you feel that same wave of dizziness again that you felt when that first wave of energy came away from the point of the invasion. However, you're getting, it's hard to nail down exactly, but you're getting different feelings here than you've been getting, as if something has changed, but you're not entirely sure what.
Perhaps this is the root of all evil.
The one thing you can hear off at the moment, just out of earshot, is you can hear a voice. It's too far away at this moment to make out the word. For now, let's say it sounds like Sigourney Weaver's.
What, Jurassic Park and now aliens?
I'm thinking more Finding Dory, but yeah.
Okay.
There does appear to be an entrance at the base of this tower, a gap within the metallic crystalline structure. As you stand here, you realise
Cave.
the sounds of jungle. There was starting to be a sort of an ever-present sort of like that sort of cicada sound of jungle life, the sound of war and danger fade off into the background. There is an almost, I mean, you could have an otherworldly feeling, but there's a really otherworldly feeling here. Grady goes, "Where's Amber?" And you look to see the young girl with her little toy dinosaur in hand disappearing into the tower.
Ooh.
Grady turns back to look at the rest of you and then runs off after his daughter.
Good luck, Grady.
I'll
Should have held your daughter's hand. It's your own fault.
tug Wade. We follow.
Oh. I'm kind of liking this killing these beasts. Let's go,
Right.
Mum.
Can I do an experiment? I think a bullet impact against a crystal object is good for smashing.
It's
You wanna fire
probably
your
not
gun?
any crystal that we know.
Yeah, go for it. You're not going to have to roll to hit.
Okay, I hit them. What happened? Just roll for damage?
There is a gunshot sound. There
Doesn't
is
he
a
have to roll
clear...
just in case he gets a 1?
Yeah, just roll to me. No, actually.
Oh.
Actually, no, roll. Do roll anyway, just in case.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Guess what?
Nothing happens.
Oh,
Oh, you're lucky.
Because you told me what I was going to roll.
You fire. It's a blank. It's a glancing blow, but literally it hits. There's a sound of. I mean, you've heard it before. Gunshot ricocheting off metal.
Yeah. So it's metal rather than crystal to me.
And you hit the kid.
No, you don't hit the kid. But the most important thing is, from where you're standing, you don't disconnect.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
It doesn't belong here, and the fact that it doesn't belong here means that maybe it could help us fight what's here.
It's probably the aliens. It's our spaceship.
Okay, Wade is being dragged towards it by Lena, I'm believing, yeah? Was Lena dragging Wade towards helping the girl, yeah?
Yep.
yeah.
When you get close enough, you can start to make out the sounds of the voice.
This is my mum. We're not going to make
Yeah,
a...
I was about to. You can start to make up.
Initially, the voice is in a language you do not understand, but within a second or so of hearing,
American.
it changes into crisp, clear English. And as I say, it's a female voice. Let's say it sounds like Sigourney.
Are you going to do the accent?
We are lost, crushed by the savage world of Baruch Kar. Baruch Kar is a High Lord, a being who invades other realities. He sucks the possibility energy from his victims and their lands. We do not know what end these invasions serve. All we gleaned was a single word: Torg. By this point, you're near the entrance. You can see inside. The floor inside the tower is covered in patches of red and blue, like crystalline paving slabs. You can see that the center of the tower is open, and there's a spiral around the outside. You get to the entranceway just in time to see Grady heading up the spiral, still in pursuit of Amber. The message, however, continues. This realm, the last remnant of Ukan, a world of great scientific advance, reason, and peace. We were invaded by Taktakur, the living land. This outpost is where we made our last stand. We failed. We used what we learned of possibility energy to transmit our knowledge, our art, the very essence of our people, away from the living land. So little was saved. Hopefully, someday, after the storm, explorers will hear this message and find our remain. Is anyone else going in, or are Lena and Wade going any further in?
I wouldn't want to go in there without being prepared.
I think we should just go in anyway, because, you know...
I think we're going in, whatever you're doing, but we're going in. If the girl's gone in, we're going in.
Yep, she's gone in.
I have to rescue the kid anyway, so...
Okay. So as you begin to... Once you're within this tower, you can see the spiral going up. There does appear to be some levels below this, but it would appear that Ruin of Ages or something has collapsed or blocked whatever entryway to the subterranean levels of this tower might exist. As you progress upwards, the voice continues. If a reality raider hears these words, beware. All our power courses through our last guardian. While the storms still rage, it will destroy any intruder. If instead you battle against the High Lords, remember Ukan, for her daughters and sons can do so no longer. We are lost. And the message continues in a hollow loop, the words repeating while you're within earshot. You step onto the ramp, and the first person that steps onto the ramp, you notice that despite the fact the ramp isn't moving, it's like you're on a travelator. So you can stand still and you are being moved relatively swiftly along. But you can continue walking as well if you wish to continue fast. Are you continuing?
Yeah.
Have we seen any big, powerful robots with big beams that come ahead and kill us?
You haven't seen any powerful robots, but
Guardians,
you progress upwards via this slope. And after a while, the slope approaches a gap in a ceiling, and it comes up onto another floor. And you can see ruin of technological detritus, broken machines of inscrutable purpose scattered across the floor. And about 30 feet above you, you can see another floor, if you continue on the slope, rapidly approaching.
Somehow all this technology is working.
Along the walls to your side, every so often, there are thin metal plates embossed into the wall, covered in alien script.
Are there any drawings or images that we might understand?
There might be imagery, but if you're looking, you don't see any particular images that you can discern any detail from.
So you're we don't see any creatures or anything.
There are. It's a bit difficult because you're not sure if what you're looking at is script or image. If there is an image there, it's in a different method of perception than you're used to anyway.
Oh.
However, Reverend, as you're looking at one, as you pass one, you're stepping backwards along the progression of the slope, and you stumble slightly, and you put your hand to steady yourself on the wall. Your hand briefly brushes the plate, and in front of your eyes, it transforms into English, and pictograms on it reform into an image.
What is this?
Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll just need to change the battery on my headset because it's bleeping at me. I'll be about 5 seconds.
Okay.
We'll be getting late for Alex, though.
It is getting late.
Okay. So it literally says at the top, Archive LLA, entry 5995A4. The invaders unleashed a terrible new weapon, the Gospog. Adinos were observed collecting corpses during the initial attack. The original supposition was as food, or perhaps as a psychological weapon. The truth was far worse. Some form of malignant plant growth is embedded in our dead. The gestation period is approximately 30 cycles. After the gestation period, the plant growth animates the corpse itself. The resulting creature is essentially mindless, very aggressive, and does the bidding of the invaders. Dismemberment, fire, and penetrating damage to the center torso are the best methods for disabling Gospog. Scouts report that Gospog fields are planted in neat rows, 100 graves wide by 100 graves deep. After 60 cycles and more implanted corpses, a newer breed of Gospog appeared, rarer, larger, and more dangerous. The current theory suggests that new bodies produce harvests of increasing power. Cycle 90 should provide definitive proof. Captured remains as specimens indicate that the implanted seeds are not native to Tacta Ker. Are they spoils of war from some other world the Adinos ravaged, or an indication that these are just servants of some even more dangerous master? Regardless of origin, these Gospog are perfectly adapted to our reality, and the invaders often use them to strike at hardpoints the Adinos themselves shun. Continued in entry 5995A5. As I said, there are numerous of these plaques along the walls as you rise up through the structure.
Can we see that 5995A5?
You can see nothing on any other plaque at this point that indicates any kind of number, because the other plaques are still in language you can't understand.
Try to touch them.
You begin to touch various plaques. Some of them seem to attempt to move, but there is a sort of an energy burst behind the plaque. So you think possibly what they have is lost to the ages. However, you do manage to get 2 other plaques to turn. Archive LLB, entry 7325B6. Not everything here in Ukan transformed as the Maelstrom bridges fell. Approximately 1 in 3 were affected instantly, becoming devolved and bestial. Upon examination, it was determined that they were the same individuals, but their thought processes had been affected. Intelligence levels measured the same, but cultural touchstones no longer made sense to them. Memories were affected in various ways, and some subjects suffered psychotic breaks. The surrounding land transformed at a higher ratio than the people, indicating sentience, or willpower, has some effect on the transposing reality. Within cycles, something changed in areas near the Maelstrom bridges, accelerating the transformation. Farther away, people still gradually converted to the invading reality, but at a slower pace. Rare individuals never transform, and gain the ability to sense and manipulate the reality influx around them. The invaders fear these warriors and call them stormers, likely a reference to the storms that erupt when 2 realities collide. Possibly related, there are parts of the world that are extremely stable and resilient against encroaching alternate realities. These hardpoints form a natural barrier that protects Ukan's reality and everyone inside. Hardpoints are created by concentrations of monuments and artifacts tied to Ukan's history. At first, it was thought that such monuments could be moved, and that the stabilizing effect would go with them. That proved untrue when the Indigan crystal was moved to Zycolo. As soon as it was displaced, the crystal transformed, and the hardpoints around it collapsed. Related entries 7741B1, 7801B1. Once you're reaching the top and you've been going along activating these archive entries as you go, you've lost hope that the last ones might work until finally the very last one before the apex of the tower flares and changes like the two before it. Archive LLC entry 1002C4. Stellae aren't ceremonial as previously thought. They mark the true boundaries of the encroaching reality. The space between three stellae becomes a zone and transforms. As the invaders gain ground, they plant new stellae and more of Ukan is lost. There is a definite geometrical form to stellae placement. Three form the boundaries of a zone, but any single stellae may only connect 6 others. This means that there is an optimal pattern for placing stellae, and enemy attacks and movements could have been predicted with much greater accuracy had the mechanic been understood earlier. In the Battle of Uktun, the last of our Storm Knights managed to displace the Zycolo stellae. It was a costly undertaking which revealed several key pieces of information. As hoped, the removal of the stellae caused the invading reality to collapse and return to Ukan. Unexpectedly, however, everyone who had transformed was obliterated by the disruption. No theories explain why, but it seems certain that Ukan is doomed. Too much of the world has been irrevocably changed. Additionally, the attack against the stellae provoked an immediate response from the invaders, including the instantaneous arrival of strange reinforcements. The troubling indication is that the stellae are either sentient or connected to some greater evil, connected to the entire network. We are lost. No further entry. And the image that's attached seems to indicate the example appearance of one of these stellae. You reach the top floor. Grady is there, holding on to Amber, who is pointing at the crystal situation on the wall. She's like, "Is binoculars, telescope. I see it far." And we'll leave it there.
First, the shit girl was very strong at the end there.
What did you say, sorry?
Was that a game comment?
What, that she seed far?
No, it said the urge to shoot the girl was strong.
Cool, very sinister stuff.
Yeah, it seems all quite doom and gloom.
Yep.
Well, poor Lena's dead, like, so let's just cut her out of the game and keep
Yeah, if we tried to fight back, Lena's going to get obliterated.
Well, just so you know, if you try to fight back, Storm Knights, who carry their reality with them, are different. While it didn't explicitly mention it there, it is talking about the odds of the population. So the majority of people, the Cams, the Gradies, who have lost their connection and have transformed to the reality. Your mom is fine.
Okay.
But the millions and millions and millions of others, well, in character, you have no idea what you can do for those people. Out of character, triggering a glory result within a stellae region, the spreading of the tail of that success, whatever it was, is enough for a while to refill the populace with enough hope, with enough possibility energy to survive the removal of a stellar. So glory results are more important than you originally thought. They are core to being able to reclaim any territory from the High Lords without that reclamation becoming an extremely Pyrrhic victory.
That's quite a lot of pressure on us to try and roll over 60 in a certain place.
Yes, yes, it is.
Man.
But you're not the only group of Storm Knights. But
Well, let's hope one of them succeed then.
yeah,
We've done it twice. That might be all we ever do.
indeed.
We'll do it.
Anyway,
Alright,
at the
guys.
top of the Tower of Vukan, we'll leave it there for this week.
We get XP.
Thanks.
Not yet. The act isn't over. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
You're just in scene 2.
I will shut the stream.
See you guys.